What up? Take your time. I scheduled it pretty quick, so. Plus, I want time for Vinnie Politan, Megan Kelly, and Bryan Enton, because I tagged them all. So I know they're all getting a notification. And I challenge these little bitches. Because I find it absolutely hilarious when I'm seeing from MSM. Yeah, let me tell you something. Vinny, if you're listening, I don't know what you told us, right? When Bryan took a plea deal, or when this happened, you know, telling your chat that you told us this, you told us that. What the fuck did you tell us, bro? Please enlighten me what you told us, Mr. Vinny. Because if I'm not mistaken, you were completely complacent with the plea deal. You never said nothing about this ever happening in the future. So what are you talking about? What are you MSM psychopaths talking about in this fucking case? You know what? It literally makes them sound like they do not want anybody else to pay a price for this crime. And I feel like they're being paid off. What's up, Alicia? What's cracking? How's everybody doing tonight? Today? Oh, it's going to rain soon, so tonight. What's up, Canadian? Oh, and I'm sure the person will see this eventually, but for some reason, my phone doesn't notify me when I get something on PayPal or Venmo. So, like, if anybody sends me anything on there, just let me know so I could open it up and say thank you, like during the live, not see it after the live, because I feel like a piece of shit not saying anything and not even knowing it came through. What's going on? So yeah, so I tagged, or whatever you want to call it. I tagged Vinny, I tagged Megan, and I tagged Enton, because all three of them, it's funny how they all talk about the subject at the same time, and they're all saying the same exact shit. Now, Vinny is the one that pissed me off the most, because he's sitting there with his chest out, you know, like, I told you guys this was going to happen. I told you that was going to happen. No, you didn't, bro. You said Bryan Kohberger did this. He pled guilty. He's a psychopath, yada, yada, yada. And that's it. Now we're going to revisit it. And now you guys are going to whine about the crime scene being gone, when we've all been bitching about this for years. Now, all of a sudden, because there could possibly be a trial and there's no crime scene, right? That's Bryan's fault. The fact that Bryan wants to get out of a goddamn cell that's this big, I'm sorry, but if any of them were in a cell and they didn't do what they were being accused of, all of them would be doing the same shit Bryan's doing. I would, you guys would. And I want to know what they're so afraid of, and who is contacting them for all of them to be saying the same exact narrative. Because on different cases, they have completely different opinions. But on Idaho4, right, all of them have the same exact opinion. What's up, Sharon? Nice to see you. Like I said, I tried, you know, because I try to respect everybody's channel. I tried to wait till like Dago was done being live, but I saw he was on for like four and some hours. I was like, I can't wait anymore, man. I'm not going live that long anyway. So, and yeah, I know everybody was, you know, saying this about me and Krista, but I spoke to Krista. We're gonna, you know, kind of go one, not talk over each other. What up, homie? Thank God BK's family has been talking to Jules for a while now. I'm happy they put their trust in her. The family said thank you to everyone for supporting them. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What was I saying? Yeah. So, and like I said, I know I got tagged by somebody that was like, hey, if you're talking to Bryan's family, like I said, I have no direct communication. I don't want direct communication with anybody. It's not, to me, I don't like that burden. I have somebody that talks to one of his siblings. That's how I knew about this. You know?
It's good.
Now, what were you saying about the G family? Did the G family come out with another comment, or did they go on somewhere?
Well, when I was watching a little bit of Dago's channel, I saw Olivia, I saw Steve up there, so there must be something they have out there. Do you want me to look for it real quick? Olivia was talking shit.
Yeah. Because you can bring stuff up.
Yeah, hold on.
And then we're gonna listen to what fucking Vinny said and break down his little first 5 minutes. Bryan Enton, they're all tagged, Alicia. They're all tagged. They're all welcome to hit the goddamn button to come up here and tell me why they have this asinine outlook on this case and where they're getting their goddamn information from. Because Bryan Enton he made a video today or yesterday that Bryan Kohberger was in the house before the murders occurred. 100%. And I want to know where he's getting this information. Where is this documented that Bryan was in the house? Have you seen this?
No, but here.
Me neither.
All right, let me pull it up. All right, be right back.
Oh, I don't care. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the ones coming in. It's all Cy.
7 hours ago. Okay.
Bryan Enton and Cy. Oh, so Cy kind of Cy turned.
Wow, really?
Did Ray Cy turn? Well, I never liked the motherfucker. I said he worked for the prosecution every other case, but yet he works for the defense on this case, and then doesn't come out and say why. Like, why, dude? Why this case? You know. If I missed anybody, hello. What's up, Moon? How are you? Now just Cy went nuclear. Really? Cy, you're welcome to come up too, baby. I'll talk to all you guys. You guys have absolutely nothing. Nothing. You got piss. That's what you got. Cy was on Enton with the G's.
Uh-oh. No. Well, here's News Nation. Let me find Enton.
What?
All right, we got one here. Don't pull that one up yet.
And then this is big.
Pull that one up.
For the
Kohberger's cell phone expert speaks. You fucking rat.
Directly from the family of victim Kaylee Gonzalez. Yeah, Steve and Olivia Gonzalez are going to join the conversation. This is an extraordinary exclusive. Should be a really good conversation.
Thank God I smoked because
did you watch Cuomo's incredible
like
AI special earlier? You saw the dancing robot.
Don't worry.
Could your next commute be above traffic instead of stuck in it? What do I say that? The CEO of the company behind what's being called the world's first flying car joins us live after revealing his vision for the future of transportation. And I don't want to ask this, but I will.
Can you fast forward a little bit?
Is this the summer of sharks? From Florida to New York, these
hold on. I'm just pulling up. I was pulling up other articles.
Some of America's most popular beaches. Why?
Right.
How
Holy
worried
shit!
should you
That's why I don't go in the ocean. Right there.
Water.
See
what
that?
can you do if you find yourself?
I go in somebody else's home.
Oops.
Zero receipts. Zero receipts. But Cy worked for the defense. Now he wants to come out, and all of a sudden, now that Bryan wants to rescind his plea, now Cy wants to speak like this. You're a pussy, dude. I know you're going to see this too because people come to you and say, "Oh, you're a pussy, dude." I challenge you to come up here and tell me why you think Bryan's guilty. What did you see, dude? What did you see? Enlighten me. Because I know why you took on this case. You took on this case because you were pissed off on how they used your fucking data. That's why you took on the case. You didn't come in this case because you thought Bryan was innocent, you little shit. You were in it for all the wrong reasons. Now you're stuck. Why aren't you going live, buddy? Why aren't you going live, Cy Ray? You're going to get shit on. That's why. Sorry. I haven't smoked since last live. I quit smoking marijuana. So everybody knows. All right. So I might be a little worked up sometimes. It's okay. All right. I just, I was telling Chris earlier, marijuana just doesn't do it. Marijuana doesn't do what it used to do for me back when we could just smoke and chill. Now it's like smoke, anxiety, heart racing, eat, and then fucking you're left with anxiety. And now I just don't feel like smoking anymore. Sai is a rat. Sai, imagine having an expert. Imagine having an expert that was literally about to go to trial for you. And because you took a plea, even though he sees all the fuckery, even though he sees all the fuckery, because he took a plea, he now wants to go and on Bryan Enton, out of all channels, the most biased son of a bitch I ever heard in my life, worse than Vinny, and say this shit? Come on.
Oh, this is Dad.
I didn't know it was on.
One of the victims. And Kaylee's sister, Olivia, wanted to talk to Sai.
Can you hear it?
One of the defense experts.
Turn up a little bit?
So it's kind of a unique situation.
Or maybe it's my phone that's not turned up.
And they are going to do that in this.
I can't hear it either, so hold on.
Yeah, turn up a little bit. Sai is licking the G's possible $400 million. That's all they care about. They don't care about justice for their daughter. I'd give all the GoFundMe money back. I'd give all the WSU money back. I'd give my savings back. I'd give every cent I have, I'd give back to get the names of the people who actually did this. You understand?
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit about money if I lost a child. I don't care if I have 2 other children, where the fuck they said they have. I don't care.
I'm
That's
just
your
confused.
child somebody took away. And you're just like,
yeah.
We're going to sue.
When you want all
exactly.
the information, you should want all the information, whether you agree with us or not, all the information about your child's murder, and then make a decision.
Sai Ray, dude, you're a bootlicker, bro. You're a bootlicker, man. You had everybody fooled, not me. Everybody watching your channel, watching you and your wife, trying to contact you and your wife. You never heard shit from me, did you, buddy? Because I saw right through fucking you, and I saw right through Ann. And my last fucking live 5 months ago, whenever the fuck it was, proves it. When I had Ann Taylor in a jumpsuit. Ann Taylor in a jumpsuit, right? Remember that?
Yes.
Okay. I should have put your bald ass in a jumpsuit too. Fucking, I don't care if you want to try to, report this channel or come after me. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't have enough subs to care. I don't have enough care to care, bitch. You're a pussy, dude. I care about these victims getting justice rather than take out Bryan for a second. We have 4 children, 4 kids, right, in my eyes, that were completely massacred in their home. And you're okay with throwing just a random ass dude in jail who has no connection, who you say bought a knife, bought a mask before he even knew these people. And now we have this jackass with his headline saying Bryan was in the home before the murders occurred. And who's that coming from? That's coming from Sai fucking Ray. Listen, listen, Sai, okay? All the information isn't unsealed yet. So I don't even know why you're opening your goddamn mouth. You should shut up, stop going on fucking channels, and go away, dude. That's what you should do. Because you're not part of the fucking case anymore. You're not going to be brought back. Nothing. Because the prosecution, if you look into the prosecution, your ass ain't going nowhere. You're going to see all the fuckery, and you're not going to be going to talk to the G's, not going to go talk to Bryan Enton, nowhere. So shut your ass up, start up your fucking channel again with your wife, and talk about bullshit. Don't be going on here with the G's and these fucking shills over here. It's disgusting. You're making yourself look stupid, brother.
Real stupid.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said real fucking stupid. Contradictory.
Like I said, I might be a little. I might be more chill if I, smoked a little bit. But I'm happy I'm not, because now is not a time to be chill. Yeah, all Bryan did was say, all I want is true justice to happen in this case. Same thing we're saying, and now look how they're acting. That's all Bryan said. That's all he said. And these people are losing their fucking minds because there's no crime scene, there's no evidence, there's no nothing. And what do they have to do? They have to bring on an expert that was working for Bryan. No, you weren't, bitch. And here we are. Fuck out of here, man. You see it too, Wicca? You see through the bullshit? Come on. Sai is a fucking spook. What's her name's been saying that forever? Annie. Sai's a goddamn spook.
What has Sai been saying? Has Sai said anything that
like I said, if you look at the title of Bryan Enton's video, okay, where do you think that came from?
But can he prove it that he was in the house?
It doesn't matter if he can prove it or not. All he has to say is, I was part of the case. Mm-hmm. I saw this and this, and everybody's going to say, oh yeah, can you come on and talk and tell us? He can say whatever he fucking wants. Okay, more than half of this fucking case is still sealed. He shouldn't be saying anything. He shouldn't be. He is helping Bryan's case right now. So you know what? I'm sorry. Let me go back and take that back. Keep talking, bro. Keep talking.
Yeah.
I love it. Keep talking. Because all you're going to do is help Bryan in the end, dude. That's all you're doing.
And guess who else is self-owned
Ineffective
in
counsel.
that area?
Yeah, yeah. Him complaining about ineffective counsel. That's exactly what he's doing right now. Sai is literally proving how Bryan had ineffective counsel.
True. And fucking Hunter's phone is in that house the entire time, Sai Ray. So what
Kathy, am I wrong? Like I am.
We're going by cell data. Let's go by whose phones were actually in the house.
I just love that they are proving what Bryan said 100% correct. Bryan said that they fucking swindled me into taking this deal and I had a misrepresentative count. His own expert the day after is now prancing around to these, guilty. He's talking to the parents of slain victims.
Right.
Dude.
Whispering in their ear.
If I was the parents, I'd say, no, I don't want to talk to him. Like, so fine. If you guys want to play it out like this and you guys want to help Bryan in the end, you know what? Fine. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. I love it. I love it. So then when all this shit's played in court, right?
It
so then, you know what I mean?
All gets exposed.
Yeah. My own expert who put his balls on the line to help me, who thought I was innocent. He told me, look at him. Yet I got the full representation I deserve in a quadruple homicide. Like I said, I'm a little more straightforward than Bryan. So I would more, well, I'm not, I just want to play the video real quick. You can interject whenever you want.
Oh, sorry.
Podcast, and I'm really going to let them ask a lot of the questions that they have. And Sai agreed to do this
There's not going to be a trial
because he wanted to answer their questions. And you'll see, he believes that Bryan Kohberger is guilty, but he has a lot of issues with the way the investigation was handled.
That's the only reason he took the fucking case, you pig.
There's a lot to this. It's a long podcast, but it's filled with new information from an insider who was working on
the real man exposed them all
inside, and has really unique information and data to back it up that I hadn't heard before. So I'm going to get into all of it. Again, it's a long convo.
Sai's a narcissist.
Find it interesting,
that's what he is.
Especially in light of everything going on with Bryan Kohberger now saying that he's innocent. So I want you guys to hear
the only thing Sai had a problem with is how they got to Bryan. That's it. That's it. Because it was his own fucking software or whatever.
And I know that he's going to join us.
Look at this. Look at this site for sore eyes.
I wanted to continue this conversation from the time you just had on News Nation. And I know, Steve, that you wanted an opportunity, you and Olivia wanted an opportunity to be able to talk to Sai about some of the information that he has since he was a defense witness for Bryan Kohberger. I just wanted to ask one question before I throw it over to Steve, though, and it kind of plays off some of what you said on News Nation, Sai. You talked about Bryan Kohberger potentially being at the house before. Can you elaborate on that a little more? I mean, are you able to, and I know it's not exact, but are you able to say whether he was actually inside the house?
This is our own expert here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be a little bit more responsive on these questions and drag it out a little bit. So if I'm
say something
going on and on, stop me.
Yeah, and you can do that on this. We have unlimited time.
No, talk as much as you want.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 100%, like, I'll make myself available to the family, by the way, 24/7.
Christ, dude,
if
shut up.
you guys have follow-up questions going forward, by all means.
I'll make myself
when I
available
heard
to
that you
the
guys wanted to have
families.
this conversation, I actually...
You're about to defend him, you joke.
It meant a lot to me, and I was like, oh, finally, I can talk to the victim's family, because I've spent my entire career advocating for victims' families. I've done a lot of stuff with parents of murdered children, and, this is a very hard place that it started out trying to be at, and I really appreciate you guys reaching out, and anytime you have questions, I'll give you my direct number. By all means, feel free. You guys can hit me up anytime.
Thank you.
But what I want to cover on that piece is, when we start looking at the house itself, there's a couple different things we can look at. AT&T has a very specific report, and it's called Lokdebor. And I know it sounds like a silly word. It's LOCDBOR, Lokdebor, and it's location database.
Can you pause it real quick?
This will include estimated latitude and longitudes. And
Do you understand how much Cy Ray is helping Bryan in the future right now? Krista? Or everybody here? What up, Matt? What's up, my man? What's up, Jeremy? Do you understand, just in this interview alone, how much this is going to help Bryan in the future? This is amazing. Sorry, go ahead. You there, Malaka?
Shit, I forgot I was muted. Yes, I agree with what you said.
It's all good.
They range from 25 meters out to 3,000, 30,000 meters, so they can get very big. Historically, there's accuracy issues with this report. So if you just take all the data and you throw it on the map and you think that's accurate, you're going to have a lot of problems. A really good example in this case is there's a time when Bryan goes up to Seattle and one of his Loc-de-Boer hits shows him in New Orleans. So that gives you an idea of the accuracy issues. There's two factors, and like I said, I'm going to pile on a lot of data for you guys. The next thing that comes into play is the actual handset, the phone itself. iPhone actually restricts a lot of third-party apps and even the mobile carrier to some points of getting precise location data, which a lot of people don't realize. If I try to ping a phone, that phone ping can actually be screwed up by Apple itself. So instead of getting this nice, neat little GPS, I get this 5,000 meter GPS range, and you can be anywhere in that 5,000 meters. Samsung, on the other hand, is a very chatty phone. It's preloaded with all kinds of silly apps and ridiculous monitoring. If anybody's ever had a Samsung, when you first power that thing up, like there's 100 apps on that thing. It's good for law enforcement because when we get a phone that's a Samsung phone, it's typically very chatty on the network. We're going to see a lot more connectivity. Samsung's also unique that if I do certain things with certain apps that require location data, such as GPS or navigation, that accuracy from the 3,000 or the 5,000 meter ranges come down to 25 meters. And in this particular case, if you look at those precise measurements, there's probably 5 that land directly on what would be the living room of the house. Like the latitude, longitude is the physical house itself. And, you know, if you put the house back on the map and you map those, the hits are inside the house. Now,
really? So hold on. Isn't it amazing that Bryan's own expert could place him in the house, but the prosecution and FBI can't? Isn't that amazing? This guy's a fucking joke, dude.
That's a new one for me.
Bryan Edson's like, well, okay.
Look at his face. He's actually confused. And look at Steve. Steve's like, huh?
Steve's looking at his cat for support. This is
I just want to make sure I understand correctly. So, and because I haven't heard this before. So you're saying based on the data you saw, the latitude, longitude for Bryan Kohberger's Samsung was in the living room?
The AT&T derived latitude, longitude from the AT&T's network that it estimates a location, it lands in the house. And it's a 25 meter range. So, you know, we're talking 75 feet. So it could be anywhere
now we're
in the
estimating.
House on the floor.
Okay.
It could technically.
Now we're estimating, Krista. Now we're estimating.
Yeah.
Got it?
Be outside the house. It could be on the property. But it's showing in the immediate area.
Okay, so we went from the center of the house to the immediate area.
Yeah, so we went from the living room to 25 meters to the immediate area. This guy has no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
Word salad.
My personal opinion is when I look at those and I map what's happening before and after, and I'm looking at all the other evidence, I think these are accurate locations. And, you know, that's to Steve's point earlier, this is why court, I think, is so critical for this case. That's an argument to be had in front of the jury where the defense would come in and say, hey, you can't reliably say this. And the prosecution would say, here's why. When done right, I feel that they're reliable.
So when you say accurate locations, you mean
that's Cy Ray, Ledge. That's Bryan's data expert right there.
The house on previous occasions.
Over there.
So I'll qualify a handful of things tonight. And again, Steve, any questions later on, by all means,
you can text me all night, Steve.
You want to. One of the things the defense did with me early on in this case is they got outside of the geolocation data and they said, hey, as a former homicide cop, as a homicide sergeant, as a supervisor that supervises these type of investigations, we're interested in anything you can find. And they poured tons of data over. Why that's important too is it's not just the phone stuff. There's a lot of stuff inside the crime scene and things that I reviewed in the crime scene. I 100% believe that the offender, who is Bryan Kohberger, like there's no alternative theory in my head at this point. Yeah, he's been in the house before. I think there's absolutely no doubt he was familiar with the basic layout of the house. I'm not saying he was
well, that's not what the fuck Hitler said.
Intimately familiar with the entire house, but
hold on a second. Does everybody know? Hold on. Does everybody know you can literally go on your maps right now, click on whatever resident in your fucking area, and you can go to Zillow or whatever and check out the layout of any home.
Look at the glow up of Olivia. Look at, she must be spending her sister's $100,000. Look at her.
Who the fuck's that?
That's Olivia.
God, these people are living their best life after their kid died, huh?
Right? Look at her. Damn, girl.
Got married and everything, and your sister lost her life.
Right? She looks like Kardashians over here.
Hey, Doc.
That house is laid out very weird. I've been through the house. The path that was taken, what we see is what occurred in that house, him coming and going from the neighborhood. There's prior knowledge. There's no doubt in my mind that there's prior knowledge. So that also helps support some of this. One thing I want to kind of circle back to, Bryan, and Steve, you'll find this in my report. And it took me weeks to get the defense to allow me to put this in my report. They didn't want me to put it in there. There are third-party databases that collect what is called money ID, so mobile advertiser ID. And you guys have all experienced this where you've searched for, I don't know, a pair of shoes. You've Googled a new pair of shoes you think you wanted. And then 2 days later, you're surfing the internet and some ads are popping up for those shoes. That's based on your mobile advertiser ID. It's a unique number, but there's third-party databases that collect that. And typically when they're collecting that type of information, it gets a latitude, longitude stamp with a timestamp. So we can actually see.
So now Brian's phone's on. Okay.
Those databases. You have to have a search warrant. There's a process to go through. In my report, what you'll find is it's towards the very end of it. I actually lay out that, hey, there's more than reasonable suspicion here to believe that this phone has been inside the residence or very close to the residence.
Can you pause this real quick? So the whole time that he's supposedly working for the defense, this is actually his true thoughts? Dude, this is fucking crazy.
Is it his thoughts or does he have proof? Can he show us a track of Bryan Kohberger taking his whole track of here, there, and everywhere? Let's say. Like, why wouldn't this be fucking out there at sentencing?
But if that's the case, then why didn't he excuse himself as an expert witness in this case and not ride it out until Bryan took a plea deal?
I don't know.
Imagine that.
Look at them. They all look like they colluded together. It's like he's supposed to be on the defense.
I don't dislike anybody, right? I don't dislike anybody, but I mean, look at her. Her daughter, her sister's in a box. She's over here looking like fucking,
Kim Kardashian and shit.
Yeah, looking like she's getting filler every goddamn week. Must be nice.
She's a Temu Kim Kardashian.
Whatever.
Typical criminal.
I like Temu, so.
Investigation, we would go look at these third-party databases, pull all the mobile advertiser ID data from those dates. Forget the 13th. His phone is off. We're never going to get his phone in or near the house on the 13th, and that's where all the focus was. But if we go back to pattern of life and we pull these other dates leading up to the crime,
then why is he doing all this work if he's just focused on the alibi?
That they're going to get precise GPS. Now I'm talking 3 meters, so now we're talking less than 10 feet. At, around, and very close to the house on those different occasions. The idea that I put this in my report and said, this is the kind of follow-up I would expect to have, and nobody ever, I fully expected as soon as I dropped that report that January, that by February, March, we were going to see discovery on this new data. They didn't even look at it. They didn't even bother with it. It's incredible.
Bullshit.
If they looked at it, they wouldn't have understood it. We heard that in court when they were talking about a JSON file and how you can edit it and how like that was some kind of
it's gonna fight everybody in the ass right here.
That's what the file's for. That's what you use it for. I mean, it was very confusing to the audience, but the lack of knowledge inside that courtroom at certain times was very frustrating to me. And I mean, I wouldn't hire my own people. I would. Shadow Dragon, I've said it multiple times. They have OS lint. They were like, Steve, the same emails they're using in this court case are the same emails we're tracking back to your children. But we're not doing it for free. They weren't like a Cyray. They're like, I think there was a 30K. Don't quote me on
So
that, but that's what my mind wants to tell me. It was like a 30K.
So based on this, Cy Ray is better than the FBI, right?
Basically.
What he's saying? He's saying that basically his data, his whatever he can do, nobody else can do it nobody can replicate it or do it any better.
Well, maybe he's fucking it up on purpose then. Maybe he's got an agenda.
My question is, if he was brought in to corroborate Bryan's alibi, why is he doing all this work on the side while he's supposedly there to help a defendant? This literally proves exactly everything Bryan said in his written statement and in his texted statement, 100% truthful.
Right.
So
he never shut his phone off.
I'm just saying, if I'm somebody who's in the middle and I hear this shit, I mean, I know people are going to take it differently because they're sheep, but come on, man.
Read between the lines.
And they said, we're not giving it up on a case this big. We keep doing, because
we're
highly in demand. We're not going to take a case this big. I just want to kill this narrative real quick.
Bryan C. Kohberger never fucking boxed. He never boxed. He never did MMA and he never did Muay Thai. Okay. I would tell you if he did. Bryan was never at Jesse Harris's gym. He was never at what was the Muay Thai place called after Jesse Harris's gym? God damn it. Okay, it's in a shopping plaza, okay, next to Imagination Zone. So if everybody types in Imagination Zone, Sailorsburg, PA, or Effort, PA, whatever, it's going to bring up Imagination Zone. Then when you look at that strip mall right there, okay, that's the only boxing gym in the whole area that used to exist. Bryan Kohberger never set one fucking foot in there. Okay, anybody can hang a punching bag up and hit it a few times, okay, for some cardio. That's not going to turn you into a John Wick fucking, Dexter Morgan phenomenon. Okay,
with go gadget arms. Hold one down.
What these people say about Bryan boxed, Bryan did. No, he didn't. No, he fucking didn't. I would tell you if he did. And even if he boxed, who cares? I boxed. I couldn't do this crime. There's no way I could do this crime.
Not the way they said it.
I literally put coagulated blood on my hands, fake coagulated blood, and tried to wash it off and use towels and this and that. And I have a black light, and it was still everywhere. Okay, so I don't care if you're a boxer or you're a criminology TA. You still have to commit the act of the crime, get out of there without a trace, right, and then show no connection to any of the victims. Correct?
Yeah.
So how does boxing or any kind of training, unless he was a Navy SEAL, okay, which we know he wasn't, going to help him in the act of this crime?
I don't know, especially when you know that Xana was a gymnast and Ethan was
6'3"
and a big fucking dude.
But yet he was stabbed the least, wasn't he?
Right. And they portray him as a 17-year-old little Ethan, but then when you hear his, like when he got pulled over, and you hear and you see how big he really was, it didn't go down the way they said it went down. If they want to say Bryan did it, they got to prove his DNA, and they can't do that. So
she looks like she took a handful of Xanax. She looks like she took an ass full of fucking Fix-A-Flat.
Yes, she does actually, doesn't she? Now, didn't Cy Ray just go from he was in the middle of the house, then he was in the outside of the house, then he was on the perimeter of the house, and then he was just in the area.
And if I'm a jury and you tell me, and he says what he just said,
yeah. And it wasn't the 13th either. And it wasn't the 13th either. It was the 12th.
Okay, so Ethan was 6'4", my bad. 6'4", 220. Bryan was what? 6'1", 160. I mean, what's Bryan? 160, 170, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
There's no way.
Ethan was 6'5" with his hair.
Or 6 foot, dude. No way.
Okay.
He was 6'1".
The smirk on his face, man.
But yet the witness saw somebody that was between her height and 6 foot, right?
Olivia's not buying it, and for some reason, it doesn't seem like she's buying it.
Olivia's just here to be pretty. She don't care.
That's true. That's true.
With the payment, we're not making that message, but they literally said we can literally tell you.
Jesus Christ!
Fast forward it.
No. I was somebody's the autopsy said 240 pounds.
These people through his fingerprint of his emails and the things that he was doing online. It's a whole science that they have out there, and touch points, and they put it all together. He was very confident, and he said they're refusing to give me any money. They want to do it for free. And to that point, the Sellbright, the Barnharts ended up didn't have to do it, but they did it for free.
Whoever was in the back, he could hop up again.
So there was these decisions being made, not over the right.
What'd you say?
I was telling whoever was in the back, it looks like they hopped down, but you can hop back up again.
Decision. It was, I don't know what it was, but evidence was being missed in a case that the world was watching.
Why would they do that, Steve? Why would somebody hold evidence? Why would they do that, asshole?
I mean,
we can do better. We can learn from our mistakes, and we can do better.
I mean, but like,
and that's why we're here right now.
And Steve, if you think about it, let's push that price up to $50K. When you look at the amount of money that was spent on this investigation and bang for the buck, spend the $50K is probably the best you're going to spend on this case, because it's going to show that I think those concrete connections.
Like 10 years, right?
I think you guys might be interested in this.
Well, I don't know about that site, right? Because they didn't fucking pay the 50 grand.
The A&W.
Exactly.
There's a little A&W and a little store.
I know exactly. Yeah, right down the street.
These two buddies now.
I think this was a pretty routine thing that they hit on a regular basis. And I'm really curious to some of the background there. But one thing that I've always said is missing, and it's really bothered me. Has anybody ever approached you guys on what's called VICAP? Have you ever heard that word, VICAP?
Don't start, Harlot. Don't start.
It's basically a history of the victims.
I love you, but don't start.
Everything of where they shop. If they order pizza, where they order pizza. Has anybody ever approached you in this investigation to try to...
Closest we got to they were scared. Once I hired a lawyer, they just stopped talking to me. And my lawyer said they'll answer questions, but to the point of they're not going to be witnesses, because they didn't want the gag order to fall over. I told my lawyer, I want the ability to speak on behalf of my child. If anything comes to the point where they're going to put a gag on me, then they can't talk to me. And
nobody wants to talk to you.
You're not going to control me like an asset. I'm going to speak on my daughter's behalf, or I'm going to jail, one or the other. So, we never got there. We got to the passwords. We got to usernames. They hit Olivia up. Olivia got into the cloud ID.
All this.
Olivia hacked. It's not fake. Like, we know the passwords.
I knew my sister's password on her Apple device, but it was two-factor authentication. So it would send a code to her device, and they wouldn't. And still to this day, they've not handed over her phone because they say that they can't get into it.
Because it's none of your fucking business.
But
so they can't get into her phone. You hear that?
No,
right. But
so that means there could be evidence on her phone to completely exonerate Bryan, but they can't get in her phone?
I've been saying for a long time, if we had all of the text messages records from those 4 people and even Bryan for the last 6 months, I guarantee we would figure out exactly what happened.
I want to know how Bryan's phone is able to be pinged in any kind of radius, but yet his phone isn't connecting to their Wi-Fi or trying to connect to their Wi-Fi or anything like that.
Good point.
I'm just saying, that's what they told us. They were like, oh, he might have tried to connect to the Wi-Fi. Where's that data? Sigh.
Yeah, really. It would show at least an attempt to connect, even if he didn't have the password.
I cannot believe what I'm watching right now.
Me neither. Oops, wait.
And dude looks like, like I said, it looks like he aged 15 years.
With that at all.
You would remember it's about almost 300 questions, and it's a deep dive in any information. And this has nothing to do with the gag order.
FBI can get in.
There's no reason they wouldn't do that.
Right?
The reason I'm asking is there's certain things that would come out in their normal pattern. Like, hey, if they ran to the convenience store, what convenience store would they run to?
Okay.
Not turning off their Wi-Fi. Oh my God.
Is there a place that they would converge? And we're getting back into the reliability of the GPS. So I don't want to get too far out of breath saying I know this happened, but there are multiple times that the device, Koberger's device, is in the area of the house, and then it moves to the parking lot of that A&W root beer.
She's a system. They should have got in multiple the first day.
House go to the A&W root beer. So there's times where I can actually see and that to me, that's what we call a collision. It's one thing to have devices in a general area, but when we see the two devices track together to a point and then track back.
Sorry, I was having a hard time understanding him. Do you mind if I put the...
No, it's fine. No, it doesn't really affect anything.
Okay.
That's incredibly telling. So, the idea that nobody has come back to you guys and said, hey, let's talk about the A&W or some of the other friends it's just mind-blowing to me. So I can't agree with you enough. It needs to be changed. That's why I took this case. I'm hoping, and any pain and trauma that I've caused you guys, I can't apologize. And my sincerest respect and condolence on this thing. I couldn't imagine being in your guys' situation, having to go through this. And now it coming full circle back.
He took this case on with emotion, oh man, you're fucking up right now, dude.
I'm confused why everybody involved is not doing their very best and showing every card they have to prove this murder. Everybody wants to hide this from this one and hide this from that one. And why aren't they showing you this?
I'm confused. I'm confused how you hear that he wants to withdraw his plea and he could possibly, fight that he didn't have ineffective counsel. And here you are as his expert now talking with a victim's father, telling him to message you whenever he wants, and you'll give him all the bullshit information that you came up with. Wow.
And I'm so sorry that I can't give you all the information. The FBI can't force.
Wow.
What
wow. I'm fucking dumbfounded right now.
Look, if Bryan did it, just show me the proof like you say you have. And then we can move on with our lives. But
it shouldn't have to be all this 25 meters or around the area. Shut up.
We're so sorry we didn't tell you everything. Well, why fucking didn't you? My kid's dead.
But at the same time, when I first looked at this case, my initial thought was this
it's
can
worse,
never
actually.
be the standard investigation that we see on cases like this. This can never be acceptable. Bryan and I were talking before you guys jumped on. Okay. After the plea deal, I actually, against the defense, Ann was incredibly upset with me for doing this. But I've created a 1 day debrief that I've been going around the country for free, providing to law enforcement. And for you guys, hopefully this helps a little bit. We've had an incredible response from law enforcement. The service you guys got on this case, the average law enforcement agency is appalled by.
Good.
Since November, when I started teaching this course, we've had 300 agencies throughout the United States attended. So it's resonating. We're getting a lot of endorsement of, yes, we need to change these things. But it's really interesting to look at that, just how much fell to the ground.
Burn that shit, Doc, and piss on it.
So I have a quick question, and I hope that it comes across the right way. So my question is separating the murders and the burglary from the stalking. And as we know, the state never picked up stalking charges, but the FBI currently still has an active investigation.
I'm gonna rip his ass apart when I see him too.
Think that some of those things were not picked up by the state because of this separation, or do you think that this would have been something that would not have driven a charge, or would not have been evidence of a charge that they were not actively pursuing?
Hitler said there was no stalking, Olivia, remember?
Hold on. I'm sure Cy could prove there was stalking.
I am guessing. Right. This is my opinion of things that I've seen.
Look, another opinion
to whoever, but there's a lot that needs to be filled in for it to land.
Still no facts.
100% this is what's happening. I'm about 90% here. They back themselves into a corner, into a no-win situation, because the problem the FBI has with stalking 90%. Right now is they cannot prove stalking in those products.
There you go.
It'll never hold up in court. In fact, I don't think a federal prosecutor would even take the case. So that's why we haven't seen the FBI proceed with that. Does the FBI have information right now, or potentially the ability to go get information to prove that case? 100%. But their problem that they have.
Tell me what that would be.
Yeah, please tell us.
Well, it'd be that mobile advertiser ID. It would be.
I sold my Josh Allen out. He sucks.
AT&T records and looking at the pattern.
Went to zero Super Bowls, and he's the best quarterback in the league. Stuck me.
You can see where he's going, what he's doing, how long he's stagnating there. Understanding pattern of life is everything for this case. Wow. The problem the FBI has is to make that stalking case, they're going to have to disclose or discover new evidence that never came out from the state of Idaho. And now you have these competing cases where you have a case that allegedly went through the entire process of discovery and never produced the evidence that's needed. And now for a federal case to all of a sudden say, oh, by the way, here's this other evidence. They've painted themselves into a corner that they can't explain.
Let me ask a question. So if new evidence comes out that makes them look more guilty, are they allowed to then what do they do? They just...
This is the greatest part about this, is none of that fucking matters right now. The only thing that matters is that Bryan, is that Bryan gets fucking his appeal across, and he can prove that he had ineffective counsel. Like I said, he's making it so easy right now by talking about Ann, by talking about the day after the plea, he's going around to law enforcement. Like, oh my God, this is fantastic.
Everybody's
but it's also so asinine because as a parent, right, as Steve, I would realize this and terminate this whole thing. But they don't see it. They're so blinded by moolah.
But he's like telling him there's more evidence that they have withholding from you, and like we don't know why. Like,
Where
what the
is
fuck?
it? Come on.
Make it exist.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I feel like there's two discoveries because I've actually heard.
Here we go, Steve.
Almost everything that you've said already. That he was in that house. Even waited in certain locations for like extended periods of time of no movement. This wasn't the only house that he stopped. There was like a loop that he was following, and there was a couple other places that he basically stood still for a certain amount of time. Just telltale signs that this person wasn't shopping, you know, and then cross-correlated to bank records and the ATMs and all that stuff. They had some stuff, the basic old school investigations they had down, but the technical was almost like they outsourced it to the FBI. And then when the FBI were like, we're not so sure that our discovery is your discovery or our investigation is your investigation, that there was these huge gaps in it. And when they went to go to make a case, it wasn't so clear. So as a father, I'm like, I'll fill in the gaps if I can.
How?
Especially when it comes to technology. And it was an eye-opener. It was so frustrating to sit there with a guy who looks like Santa Claus who has his consciousness, his short-term memory on a piece of paper and has no clue about technology, never will. And there's 4 lives in the balance.
No shit.
That's what experts are for. So you're telling me the prosecution couldn't find one fucking expert to find out any of this, and the FBI, you know, the FBI couldn't do any of this, but yet they're the one that provided the tip to law enforcement, correct?
Because I really think that they know that if that was the case, it would all be presented. Okay, none of them agree with each other.
They would have fucking told us everything as soon as they arrested Bryan, just like they do with every other fucking person that gets, you know, as soon as they arrest somebody, they tell us everything. But in this case, everybody's like, oh, they're holding it to their chest, against their chest for trial. Well, now he pled guilty, so where's the fucking evidence?
That is their evidence. That is their evidence. You know how many interrogations we watch and how many investigations we watch, and every fucking piece of evidence, even what the person said in the background on the 911 call, comes in. So how is it that you can track him, Ray, but nobody can none of their investigations seem to match up and agree where he was or where he was
I just want to know how this guy is better than the FBI.
Well,
you know, he was on the defensive side.
He's supposedly.
You know, this is a big problem with the FBI. The FBI has a habit of coming in on.
Then why are you fucking working for them and with them then? Because they seem to be a bunch of fucking idiots, according to you.
In these cases, and where the problem happens is the FBI has access to things they can't get into court properly. Why? They can't lay the foundation the way that state courts require, but they still proceed. The IGG, I will tell you, the investigative genetic genealogy on this case is overlooked at how impactful it was. As soon as they made the decision to go with investigative genetic genealogy, this case was doomed from an ethical perspective because they had to go outside of policy.
So hold on a second.
Once they got Bryan the hit, guilty? You can see it.
Is Bryan guilty or is the case doomed? I can't understand yet. Like, what's going on? Is the case doomed, or did Bryan do this? Because first he said without a doubt he knows Bryan did it. Now he's saying this. So what is it, dude?
I'm confused too.
Why isn't Bryan Ensign open his ugly ass face and say, I got a question for you, pussy.
Bryan's been stone faced the entire time.
You know what? I should fucking edit this and tag Cy too. Little pig. I'm gonna tag him.
Do it.
The investigation is how do we hide the IGG? Because we don't ever want to talk about the way. For me, as an old school investigator, that drives me crazy is Bryan Kohberger's vehicle and his name are setting in a report that entire time. All they had to do is follow up and get a sample of his DNA.
Why the fuck didn't they try? They did. They tried. They couldn't find shit. Okay? What fucking part of that don't you get?
Again, the most amazing part about all this is if somebody just asked them the question, what evidence do they have on Bryan? The only thing they can say is touch DNA on the sheath.
Nothing, actually, because you had four other blood samples.
Just saying. Exactly.
If they would have
nobody's going to bring that up here.
Right, no, probably not at all.
And stop trying to rely or over rely on this technology of the IgG produced. I think
nobody's relying on that, you motherfucker.
This is a completely different case, but they crossed the line with IgG. They knew they crossed the line, and everything we see after that is nothing more than smokescreen trying to hide what actually happened to identify him.
So then why?
I'll go a step further.
Why? If it was Bryan and Bryan alone, then why? Why do that? Tell me, Krista.
I have no fucking idea. The only thing I can think of is because they illegally obtained his DNA. Okay, we'll forgive you for that. But what else evidence do you fucking have?
Exactly. Fuck the touch DNA for a second. You should have 10 other things on Bryan.
Right.
You should have him on an LPR. You should have him. Dude, oh my God! You should have his DNA somewhere else in the house. If all that blood spatter on the wall, all that, like, come on, man. Come on.
7 minutes, and
what did Bryan do? And Bryan takes on 4 people. One's 240 pounds, 6'4". And what does Bryan do? What does Bryan do the next morning? Takes a goddamn selfie, and he looks like he just woke up from a damn nap.
Gets a haircut.
Doesn't look strung out. Doesn't look strung out like he was out all night, does he?
No.
There's nothing on his neck. There's nothing on his face. Nothing. So nobody got a hit on him. Nobody got a scratch on him. Nobody got nothing on him.
And
nobody can say that he was dressed from top to bottom in PPE gear, because guess who didn't see PPE gear? Their goddamn witness. You're goddamn right.
All my baseball shorts or basketball shorts.
I should fucking represent Bryan. I'm gonna take the bar, dude. I'm gonna take the bar and then fucking, pro bono.
Kardashian and that shit. Say that shit.
I want nothing to do with this, because like this dude has such a big fucking ego. It's insane. Write another book, homo.
Further, and be careful with this. I wish my lawyer was here. The IgG was done in a scripted fashion of it works. We know how it does. They told me, the people that I've been around said, if we get it tossed out, it led to the dad. It never led to BK.
Well, then why didn't you just fucking ask the actual suspect for his DNA and just fuck that part? Why not ask him for it?
I just love how they're all certain that it's Bryan, but yet they're all shit on the prosecution for being shady. So which one is it?
I know.
And that's by design. It never goes to him. It goes to his father in the trash, established the law, and then we got a warrant, and we got the cheek swab. We got it down. IgG is not going to ever be in court because it's a tip, and this is established standard, and we're not
a tip.
Bullshit. No. Where the fuck is he getting his law information from?
God damn, Steve.
Going to let a little podunk Moscow make court law or state law or any kind of law. This is never going to get into a courtroom because we have these established practices, and that is what it is. And if you call a tip on a black SUV that you've seen that has some kind of explosives in it and something, and you want to give that tip, well, that doesn't go into court either. So I get where they're going with it. And
what the fuck's the point in a tip line?
In the greater good,
an anonymous tip is
just a dad trying to make sure.
Like they don't, but you investigated though. But it's
an anonymous tip from like me or you is the same from the FBI. Okay, Steve.
Sure that my daughter in the system gets better, but I do see some red flags, and I know we had the right guy.
Why aren't you asking questions? Why aren't you asking, why was there multiple knives used? Well, if there's multiple suspects, who are the other suspects? Why isn't this guy asking this question if this is his daughter that passed away? Why?
And Bryan hasn't said a word, and I want to know why he's not worried about the blood.
Bryan Enton's going to act like he understands, but he is absolutely lost right now.
Yes, he is. And he's like, these motherfuckers have lied to me.
What's up, Grace?
And we just made it all difficult for everyone. We just made it so difficult for everyone because nobody knew what they were doing.
Five agencies, 5 of the top agencies in the entire country, in the entire world, didn't know what the fuck they were doing, Steve.
I guess not.
FBI, Homeland, Moscow, Holman. Really,
I guess not. Like I said, they can arrest Bryan in a month, right? Off of this bullshit, all this bullshit that they did. But yet this David guy, right, who has a fucking dead pregnant child in his fucking car for a year, gets to just walk around, nonchalant until they decide, oh, we have enough evidence to arrest him. But here, touch DNA is enough for people. Touch DNA is enough for you. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
And with their knife-wielding man who called in a 911 call saying, "There's an unconscious person, sir. Let me walk around and show you with my knife. I won't tell you there's 4 slain people inside." That motherfucker seems more guilty to me.
Oh, me.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I think it's difficult for people to grasp that we can stand behind his guilt, but not understand or agree with everything that the prosecution and state did.
Then how the fuck do you know he did?
And it makes it difficult for us to be put in a position where we are having to defend the state's case that we don't fully understand. And there's a lot of missing pieces for us.
Thank you.
And that's the only way that we can justify his guilt. So it puts us in a difficult position of being like, man, you guys are really making us fight for your work that you did, that you yourself won't stand behind. That's a conversation that we have a lot as a family.
Great fucking statement.
I can imagine. And
best statement
Steve,
she's ever
what
made.
you said,
That is
I hate to put it.
That is the best fucking thing this bitch has ever fucking said, because she finally got you.
But then I beg the question then, why were they okay with this not going to trial? They should have been. They should have been pissed off more than everybody if this is how they actually felt.
I really think this is when she went to go see Hitler, when all the questions were coming, like throwing it. She left there more devastated than she was before she walked in there. She said
these terms, but it summarizes exactly what you said. The end result justifies the means, right?
No,
it doesn't matter how we get to him through IGG because we have all of these bailout plans that we feel we can protect ourselves. Anytime law enforcement takes the idea or the process or the methodology that the end result can justify the means, we're in trouble. Because what happened with that is they created the situation, they realized how impactful it was now, and now the next 4 months of investigation is nothing more than trying to hide what they did at the beginning. And that's why we see the phone records were never analyzed, because they didn't need the phone records. The phone records for AT&T were nothing more than a smoke screen so that they could say, oh, look, we got this tip, we followed up on the phone, we found this, and oh, that led us over here. The phone records were never gathered as a true investigative
tool. So literally what they do
during
a trial side.
And whatever aligned with that narrative because of IGG.
That's literally what they do in a trial. You get up there and you paint the picture for a jury. Now he's saying, "Oh, they didn't have to do." What do you mean? What do you mean? He worked fucking cases before. He's helped prosecution. He's seen cases. What is he talking about?
We're supposed to just take their word for it, and they don't have to prove it. What?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Because we know that it was so good. What the
and
fuck?
Anything that contradicted that narrative.
I'm telling you, Bryan Etten is
like
lost.
I said, the fact that he helped the defense, he has no idea how much he's fucking this family right here. No idea.
And their heads, man.
And all the shit shit they talk about after this whole like, oh, text me or write me and I'll tell you whatever you want. You don't think that shit can be subpoenaed? Okay.
Oh my God. Record that shit, Olivia, please.
What's up, Meg?
A really good point on this is they committed in the first search warrant to Bryan driving east on 270. Everything, and it repeats itself, on 50 different search warrants that he traveled east on 270.
He went to Target, fucker.
Bryan Kohberger was never on
highway he was on
ever.
Right.
He took a route north of the airport. He actually crossed 95 north of Moscow, and then he dropped back down south on the east side of Moscow, and that's why he ends up on Indian Hills, is he actually came from the east. And he did that because he's smart enough to know about the cameras. What drove me crazy in this case, when you see him go back in, by the way, the reason he was back is he panicked. Dylan saw him. He saw Dylan.
Dylan didn't fucking see him, dickhead. Remember?
Dylan saw him. He saw Dylan. Wow.
And you can see in the video when he leaves, he's leaving in a hurry.
Where do you see him leaving?
You can see the video. He's leaving in a hurry.
He's driving towards where Moscow PD is responding from. He's going to go right back towards the police department. So he has to go down south. When you look at 6 months worth of his records, he doesn't have activity down south. He doesn't know 95 south of Moscow.
So wait, hold on. He knew where all the LPRs are, but you're telling me he didn't have a fucking police scanner app on his phone? To know that police were never dispatched for the next 8 hours? To know that he had 8 hours to go back to get his sheath? Come on, shut the fuck up, Cy. Shut the fuck up, dude.
It's about 12, 13 miles outside of Moscow.
Are we crazy? Like, I feel like,
maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just being biased here, but holy shit, this guy's not making any fucking sense.
Yeah, please in the chat tell us if we're reaching here or anything, or if I'm not reading this correctly.
Moscow, he pulls over. There's a good gap there, which has always been a concern to me, where he sits there for probably 10 minutes.
So does your fucking boy, the Uber guy. He sits and.
Well, hold on a second. I'm trying to figure out how he is so certain of all this when they told us that Brian's phone was off.
Right.
He powers his phone back on. He goes into navigation mode, and we see the route back.
It's crazy dark too. So the audience might not know what it's like out here in Idaho. You get out in that farm community, there's no lights. We don't have. It's dark.
So he took a route.
Your headlights are.
So he took a route
and high.
He had all this time to plan it, but yet he took a route that he had no idea where the fuck he was going. That he had to use the GPS. Krista.
I know.
Wow.
And maybe shutting off his phone. Maybe that's when he wasn't in there.
Am I dreaming? Are we awake right now?
No, I think Requiem of a Dream probably stole us, and we're in that. That's where we're at right now.
Listen, my dreams have been very lucid since I stopped smoking. So like, this is maybe I'll wake up.
I understand. I have these dreams all the time, and that's why I just had to ask you guys: are we crazy? Am I hearing this right? Maybe I'm not comprehending. I'm not the sharpest crown in the bush.
Hold on a second. Thank you so much for saying that, Witchy. This literally the middle of the woods is where fucking Bryan grew up and fucking lived. Same as myself. And you're telling me just because he gets out in woods, he gets so lost because it's so dark. Dude, there's 10 times more lights in Idaho than there is in fucking Pocono, Pennsylvania. You'll get lost. You can walk 5 minutes from your house. You can walk 5 minutes from your house in PA, throw a body in the woods. Nobody's finding it for 20, 30 years. Okay. So all of a sudden he goes to Washington and he's so lost that woods now make him shut up, dude. These people.
I mean, follow the highway. You'll find your way out. Just follow any highway. You'll find your way out, buddy. Come on. And his phone going dark was probably a dead area. That's probably what it was.
I just don't understand how somebody who plans a crime like this then just goes completely off course without even being alerted that any law enforcement has been dispatched yet, right? And then takes a completely whole different route where he has to now turn on his phone, show that he's in a location, and then use a GPS route.
I don't want to freak you out either, but somehow there's a silver Elantra introduced into this now that Lana had found that night. So I don't know where the fuck that fits in, but she was losing it this morning.
What's up, Jesse? Yeah.
So
this is insane.
If you're not prepared for that, you're not going to be able to figure out where you're going. And without a phone, if that's your primary source of navigation, you're driving around like an idiot.
But I thought he took his route 13 times.
Well, then, like I said, we've got 6 months of records. I've got a mapping system. I can put everything in there. I can hit a play button, and I can watch his phone for 6 months going around the map.
Let me see
what you see that morning of him coming back to Pullman, you never see in the prior 5 months of records. That's the first time he's ever done that route. And then within 48 hours, he's doing the exact same route again. And that's the last time you'll see him do that. You give me the layest of lay jurors. No. I can connect the dots there to have them see exactly what's happening. And right after he completes that route, he goes down to Lewiston, right down to the Snake River. He's there for less than a minute or two, and then he's right back to Pullman. Like, what's happening? Of course we know what's happening.
He was watching the
If I'm a jury, dude, listen, if I'm a juror and you tell me all this shit, like he's down to Snake River, he's over here, I'm going to say, show me he was at the house.
Exactly. You just said he was in the middle of the living room. A circle around it.
I don't care what he did after. Show me that he was at the house, that he committed these crimes. You know how many other people were driving those routes that night? Probably 500.
And it's illegal to stargaze now? I didn't know that.
This is why I don't go anywhere. Like I'm always like fucking writing shit down. I'm always checking in. I'm always making, I'm always listen. What do you mean? You're laughing, dude? They got a touch DNA, and this is what it turned into.
So I know.
It's insane.
So yeah, I'm with you guys on the frustration. My apologies. Like, you guys should never have been in that situation. This is an FBI issue, and I'll frame this piece. I don't put this out publicly very often. When the plea deal was reached, I contacted the FBI CAS team, and I actually told them, hey, I did a lot of the investigation here. I know what the cross-examination that you guys are going to be subjected to. Contacted the FBI CAS team as a defense expert.
Wow.
You name your place, I'll fly to you anywhere in the country, and I will give you the full debrief of what I saw on my side and how we could get better. They never returned my call.
Maybe they don't like your fucking approach. Maybe they don't believe what you're saying. Maybe they think your fucking approach is stupid.
Why
Maybe
wouldn't they already have shit that's 10 times better than you can do, Cy? You're not God, bro. You're not God. You can write 15 fucking books. I don't give a shit. You're not God. There's 5,000 other people that do what you do, dude, in this country. I guarantee it. Guaranteed.
So, even
and wait, how long's it been? 28 minutes, and Steve and Brian's face hasn't moved once.
Yeah, because he's sitting there, but he's probably just trying to figure this out like us. But he's, of course, at the end, he's going to be like, that makes sense, guys.
He's going to try.
Saying, I'll give you as much insight from the defense perspective of this to be better prepared next time. They're just not interested.
Next time.
And the other thing that I will tell you guys just drove me crazy. Now that my report's out, your guys' last name is all over that report because I did an inventory. I put in, hey, here's what the phones were provided. And then I listed the phones by last names. The only last names in my report that were redacted are the FBI agents that worked on this case. So all of the victims' last names are in this report that went out to the public with the last 4 digits of their phone, but the FBI agents get their last name redacted? Like, what is that? That is insane.
It's been happening a lot. It's really,
if you off record, if you ever want to know about some of the worst, we'll let you know, but I won't propagate them here publicly.
I'm so confused. If all you people have this evidence against Bryan, why the fuck aren't you fucking presenting it? Fuck the FBI. Go to the Justice Department. I don't know what you have to do.
No. Like I asked, if Cy Ray knew all this shit during, the whole thing, then why the hell did he step away from helping the defense?
He's saying they pushed him away.
He's saying after the plea deal is when he went around trying to, talk to law enforcement and the FBI and everybody. But up until the plea deal, he was on board because he wanted that money.
You're right.
I just want to go back for a second to something you said, Cy. So
smarter than the
Fed. A&W, which is that gas station right down the road from the house. So you're saying you mapped his phone and also, was it the victim's phones at the same time there?
Where?
Correct. And there's movement where they're all in the area of the house before that. And then we see it pop up over by the A&W, but they're together. They're at least mapping, and they're mapping not the exact same lat longs. They're just slightly off, but they're within meters of each other.
And how many other fucking people are doing that?
Which is, for me, that's a tall tale sign that we're getting better accuracy, because sometimes the system will default if there's a problem with the system.
Everything's
and
assigned
everybody will
to
get the same lat long ping for like a 5,000 meter radius. But all of the lat longs are identical. In this case, they're just slightly different. They're just a couple meters apart. And it's a pattern. It happens multiple times.
That's crazy, right?
There's also an incident, and it was the second, I'm going to screw these dates up, so I can give them to you guys later if it's important. It was the first weekend after
give them everything. Started, I love it.
And I believe it was Kaylee and Maddie went to Pullman, and I believe there was some type of a sorority, maybe fraternity party, and it's in the apartment complex right next to Bryan Kohberger's apartment.
He lives there, you fucking asshole.
And at one point, Bryan Kohberger's phone moves over to that apartment complex as well, and that's where
he's literally there to cooperate his alibi. What do you mean?
Complex.
Talking about
this is all the way going back in August.
Wait a minute. But Bryan lived in that apartment complex, so why wouldn't he be there? You know what I mean? Across from
because to him, this is all weird. But yet, if he tried to get up and tell 12 fucking layman's this shit, they'd be like, "What are you talking about, dude?"
He went home.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
First weekend after school started, the phones intersect in Pullman.
Because they fucking
live. Yeah, the prosecution was doing the exact same thing. They were trying to take his phone activity and cross-correlate it with the other people in the family. They wanted to know who was in the house at a certain time because they wanted to plan the route to who was in there, because they were trying to figure out who was he after? And
Nobody.
Olivia can tell you the exact day that Kaylee moved in there. I think you said it was like May.
Yeah, into the King Road house. She did move in May.
Yeah, so other people speculated there was no one in the house, or only Maddie was in the house.
Listen, Bryan could say he was jacking off somewhere. I wouldn't give a shit. Bryan could say he was jacking off somewhere. I don't give a shit. They can't prove nothing. They can't. He's saying 90%. He's saying my opinion. He's saying if I connect the dots. He hasn't said one goddamn thing of fact yet, has he?
I don't care about that.
What he's saying is like, just because Bryan's phone pings near there, so do 30 million other people.
So I just find it very odd. So what, dude? I find a lot of shit odd. I find a lot of shit weird.
I found it odd that you think one person's phone is a big fucking deal when you have the other guy that was unalived by your cops. You have other people that were pinging. Hunter Johnson pings around that area. They're following not like just because it's Bryan because you got a tip that said it was this guy. Like, poor Bryan, man.
That's what I'm saying. This is fucked up. Bryan thinks he's getting, he had an expert to like help him here. And the whole time this guy's fucking just taking notes to take back to try to help law enforcement, the FBI to get his name out there. Dude, this guy's a fucking narcissist.
There's a reason his fucking information is not being fucking validated because it's probably bullshit.
Who's to blame is BK, and we're holding him accountable. None of the victims. Like another thing I appreciate you saying is no cleanup. We've really.
Ooh. Oh. I'll
No
shelve that for a minute. Holy shit.
So you're telling me Cy read nothing that Dr. Turvey fucking talked about? Like,
did he not look at it?
I guess not. Like I said, his mind must have been on fucking like trying to prove the FBI wrong and his system being better than whatever the fuck they were doing. That's crazy. That's
crazy. It needs to make sense with the rest of the narrative, sir.
Bryan is 100% correct that he got ineffective counsel, and he's proven it right here. And if I'm Bryan, or I'm somebody, I'm sending this to fucking, whoever has contact, they say, supposedly, then fucking send this to him.
What it sounds like is they tried to connect Bryan to this and they couldn't. They have all roundabout this way, roundabout that way. Oh, he might have been here, but they wanted him so badly, but they could not physically. It sounds like every person has their own little investigation, but nobody could connect it because when they bring the investigations together, they don't make fucking sense. And you have to be logical too.
I want to know why it took this long. I want to know why it took this long for this motherfucker to come out and say all this shit.
Because he knows that the FBI is probably going to be like. I don't know what to think. I don't know.
I mean, coming out now is worse than coming out the whole time he fucking pled guilty. You're gonna come out as soon as he requests. Like you look guilty as shit, bro.
They can't put. He went from putting him in the middle of the house, in the middle of the circle. I'm thinking, okay, there's a circle,
25 meters. Yeah.
Then I'm thinking a dot in the middle of the living room. There's Bryan, and then all of a sudden he's outside of it. Then he's outside of that. It's like, wait a minute. Well, so
tell that to a jury and they'll spit on you.
They'll be like, oh, I was there too, sir. Am I guilty? I was walking around the neighborhood that night. Am I guilty?
Yeah.
Really chase that down because,
how about Aunt McMeth? Is she guilty? She was there too.
I jerked off while I was swimming in Snake Lake. Am I guilty? Am I guilty? I was looking at the stars jerking off. Am I guilty? Like I said, I don't give a shit what Bryan says. Stargazing, fucking, I don't care what he was doing. It's not. It has nothing to do with them not being able to prove where the fuck he was.
Yep. And there was actually a meteor shower that night, and Bryan likes that stuff.
He could have said he was just sleeping. Instead, he told the truth.
Right.
Young girl.
Jack was allowed to get away with sleeping. How come nobody else?
Hunter was allowed to get away with his phone being there during the crime and him being there with a fucking kitchen knife during the fucking 911 calls and shit. And nobody took him in as a goddamn, nothing.
You can't prove he could have been there the whole time. Nobody can
imagine 4 people shot in my house. They come here. I'm here with a gun, and they're like, "Who did it?" I'm like, and I put the gun back. I'm like, I don't know. Like, what?
I just found him like that. I just found him like this.
This is crazy.
This guy looks so fucking like confident.
Point of they don't have a life anymore. So you're not true crime anymore. You're speculation. Hollywood fan fiction crap. And I would love for true crime to get back on focus and say, how do we make the world a better place? How do we
This isn't fan fiction.
How do we make the world a better place? How about we get all the people that committed this crime and was an accessory to the crime off the fucking streets? That's how we make a world a better place, Steve.
Do we look like Hollywood people? Do we want to be on Hollywood? Does Lana and Bob get paid to do your investigation and prove you wrong? No, nobody wants fucking fame. They want justice for your fucking kids, for the people I feel like are my sisters that scream for fucking help, and those two cunts didn't call 911. Let's talk about that.
We make sure that people are coming together to
and how Bryan wasn't fucking there, and Dylan wouldn't protect Bryan.
Dude is
actually have less murders and mass murders every single year. That's something we should work towards, not this fan fiction stuff. I mean,
fan fiction.
So that's part of the reason why we're here today. This is why we've been so dedicated. That's why we made a charity. This is why we have Murder Has a Name.
That's why you're suing the university.
Everything in these girls and these victims' names, Ethan as well, and make sure that
I guess it doesn't matter.
Really,
see, and again, it's just amazing to me when you bring up the 4 blood DNA samples to the people who think he's guilty, and they just completely dismiss it. It is the most fucking psychotic shit I've ever seen I've ever seen people do in my life. They're just like, who cares? Who cares? You people are okay with touch DNA. Somebody going down for touch DNA, which is transferable. Yet there's 4 blood DNA samples, another DNA sample on the sheet, and nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. Especially the parent of this fucking slain victim. He doesn't give a shit.
Yep. And this circumstantial case, it's more circumstantial against the motherfuckers that were in the house.
Fan fiction. No. How about we care more about your daughter getting justice than you do, you sick fuck?
The only fan fiction is Othram whispering in Stacy's ear 5 days before Thanksgiving, which is only 3 days after the murder. We got him. Don't worry. We got him. That's your fan fiction.
Let me tell you something. I still won't be happy if they let Bryan out, right? And they don't try to figure out who did this. I'm obviously going to be happy that an innocent man isn't going to fucking also be murdered. But I'm also going to be pissed off that they're just going to let this case fizzle out because they can't do the work and they don't have the work. That's disgusting.
That's like what Karen Reed. Just because she was found factually innocent, John's murder still unsolved. That doesn't. Everybody just.
Here's the thing. At least they attempted to manufacture evidence against her. They broke up the. They broke up the tail light and all the other shit they did. Here, they didn't even do that. They were just like, yeah, we have touch DNA on a sheet, and everybody's like, yay! Fuck off.
But nobody questioned how the sheath fall off. But sheath falls off his fucking belt buckle. Where's his belt buckle?
These people are delusional as shit, bro.
And where's the knife?
The world's a better place when this is said and done.
Yeah. Oh, really?
You said no cleanup, Ty. I mean, right? That you.
Thank you.
Even though they know the whole route he took, they weren't able to find the knife.
And there was I'm limited on some of this information. There was some reenactments that I know were done, and the reenactments, this crime could clearly be carried out by a single individual, and it's 5 to 6 minutes.
Fucking asshole. What about the cleanup?
Hold on. Rewind that 2 seconds.
Yes.
Go ahead.
A second. I'm going to screw these dates up, but I can give them to you guys later if it's important. It was the first weekend after school started, and I believe it was Kaylee and Maddie went to Pullman, and I believe there was some type of a sorority, maybe fraternity.
He said 5-6 minutes. That's what I wanted to hear. 5-6 minutes.
In the apartment complex right next to Bryan Kohberger's apartment. And at one point, Bryan Kohberger's phone moves over to that apartment complex as well. And if push ever came to shove, and that had to be proven in court, I know there's video out there of the reenactments. There is no doubt that this is a single offender. But on that point, I think what you guys are.
How are you?
Are you talking to me?
No. Just keep playing. I'm saying hi to people.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Are hitting at this. It's frustrating to see. Is Turvey wants to say that there's cleanup because of things that are absent. Basically, there's things that aren't in a bathroom, therefore it's indicative of cleanup.
That's not what it is.
There's no evidence of what that bathroom looked like before or after. So if we start building a case on that type of speculation, Bryan Kohberger's going to walk, right? That's just absurd. And
watered down.
No. What's absurd is thinking that somebody can stab somebody 50 times, 30 times, this times, and get out of there in 5 minutes. When we know it's less than 5 minutes. So he just admitted that there's no fucking way it could be Bryan, even though he said it could be. It's not 5. He didn't have 5-6 minutes. If you look at if we're going to go by when they say that the car left the scene and all that kind of shit. It was 3 minutes. 3 minutes. So where's he getting 5 to 6?
And Dylan said it was between 10 and 20 minutes that she saw him and then he left. And there's diluted blood. What is it diluted with if it's not cleaned the fuck up?
I felt a deep obligation to call Turvey out. And, I'm going to piece something together for you guys. And I've been on the fence if I should.
But that doesn't matter.
Voice this, but I think it's the right thing to do. So if I get in trouble later on, so be it.
Fuck off, dude. Go ahead, say it.
Don't get caught up in what I believe is a very rehearsed scam that is happening right now.
Huh?
If you look at what's happened over the last 3 months, let me help you guys connect some dots.
Damn.
Brett Turvey gets with Whitcomb, who's another idiot. Like the guy who's never investigated a homicide is going to be the armchair quarterback that's going to change this thing, right? So Turvey and Whitcomb partner up. Turvey becomes very outspoken about this. And what does Ann Taylor do? She publicly reprimands him and issues this cease and desist. If you think about what Turvey's saying Bryan Kohberger is innocent, that this is a big conspiracy, that there's other people. I mean, he goes as far as saying Dylan is potentially how absolutely absurd.
I want to fight this motherfucker, dude.
And Taylor,
I want to fight him too, and I don't want to fight him.
One-on-one sanctioned boxing match of the state of your choice side, whenever the fuck you want, buddy. You psychopath.
Reprimands him from proclaiming BK's innocence. I come out with a book. I go around to law enforcement. Ann knows I told her I was going to go teach law enforcement. I have been very, very clear. I've always thought Bryan Kohberger is guilty. I think in 10 out of 10 courts in America convict this kid every
fucking never.
Bro, I can't think I always thought Bryan Kohberger was guilty. Yes.
The ways that the evidence was managed, which is a whole different conversation. But I am very outspoken that Bryan Kohberger is the guy.
What?
Why hasn't Ann issued a letter to me about
where is the evidence that Bryan was there? Fucker.
Nobody wants you, bro. Nobody wants you, bro. You're a two-faced fuck. What do you mean? Why'd nobody reach out to you? Listen to you right now. You were helping a defense and you're saying you thought Bryan was guilty the whole time. You just proved Bryan fucking right. He just proved this whole shit right. Everything Bryan said is correct. Ineffective counsel, ineffective witnesses, ineffective fucking everything.
And none of this evidence. There's no evidence to what he's saying.
This is beyond sick. I'm starting to fucking sweat because I'm getting so fucking mad.
I know, me too. I'm gonna go get my weed. I'll be right back.
Breaching my NDA or all this stuff. I will argue any day of the week. What I am saying is way more detrimental to the defense's case than what Brent Turvey said, or Brent Turvey, and she did the one with Turvey. If you guys look at the picture, and here's the critical dates. The Thursday before the plea deal, Ann says in open court, Your Honor, I can't effectively represent my client if I don't get the continuation. So you have the primary attorney on this case saying in open court, it's one of the last statements she made before the plea deal, I cannot effectively represent my client. Those are not small words for an attorney to say in open court. And then
I wouldn't have allowed him.
72 hours later, we have a plea deal, and the way the plea deal came down, the way you guys were notified is disgusting. I've never seen that in 30 years. Like that, there's all kinds of craziness going on there.
We just learned that his family was there at the plea deal. His family was there, so they learned before we did.
I'm sorry, did you need me to pause it for a second?
No, hold on. Listen to what you just said. His family was there. Now his whole family was not there. Okay, there was 2 family members there. Okay, and that was probably the first time he's ever seen family members there, and that's probably why he took the goddamn plea deal. His family found out before we did. No shit, bro. He's the fucking defendant.
That's the disrespect.
What are you getting at, though, Si? If you can just connect the pieces of what you're trying to say a little more. I'm just trying to follow.
We have the ineffective counsel claim. We have the plea deal gets worked out within 72 hours. And Taylor stays on as Kohberger's attorney. Like this last year, she's the only person on the jail logs that was visiting him on a regular basis. He hasn't sought out new counsel. She's very much in his ear on a daily basis.
He trusted her.
Not anymore.
We then see the Turvey Whitcomb book come out where, hey, there's all this conspiracy. Ann has to separate herself from that and says, oh, I don't agree with this. I'm going to reprimand you guys. Like, don't say these things. And now we see Bryan drop. And I knew the appeal was coming. In my book that I sent to the publisher in February,
nobody's ever going to hire him again. He's done.
Bryan Kohberger tell-all.
Done.
I put it in the book. Like the appeal is coming. There's no doubt.
Scroll up a little bit.
You called it before.
Sorry.
And what I'm convinced about is Turvey and Ann are together.
Turvey and Ann are together.
Turvey and Ann are not at odds. and needed some new information, because that's the only way an ineffective counsel gets any legs at all. They need something new to get spun up. They need it to be very well known. And now there has to be the separation where Ann is helping Bryan, but not directly involved. And who takes that role is Turby. So Turby comes out, says all this nonsense. Bryan writes his thing.
Nonsense.
The last missing piece, and mark my
At
words,
least he has evidence, unlike yours.
60 to 90 days. Ann will absolutely fall on her sword for BK. She is a true believer. She believes he's innocent. She has an unhealthy relationship with him.
This is called fucking evidence. This is called lack of evidence. This is called a counsel. How the fuck? So you want to prove something because you think it's true, and you think that, like, oh my god.
Again,
And I just think we're going to see Ann come out
said
in the
the whole
next,
time
60
he
to
thought
90
Bryan was
days, maybe
guilty.
a little bit longer, depending
Right.
on the timeline. And she's going to eat the ineffective counsel. She's going to say he's right. I missed it. I should have known about it. And
big break moment. I just looked at it with.
Look at this fucking psycho. Look at his face.
Bro,
the new lens with this new thing. Yeah. I'm going to go even further. I'm going to let some stuff out of the bag. So I've talked to some authors, and so they actually have footage of BK boxing. He's an amateur boxer. They have a whole thing of him in the ring. 3 minutes, 162 punches. 160. That was going to be like.
Did you see it? Did you see this?
Oh, he couldn't do 150 in 12 minutes. No, they have him in
to one person. That's one person boxing. How about the four of them on four bodies, 3 fucking floors? It's not 3 fucking minutes.
So they have Bryan hitting a fucking heavy bag for 3 minutes?
Maybe at a gym or something.
Dude, listen, I boxed for 6.5 years. I was never an amateur boxer. How the fuck did Bryan become an amateur boxer after he graduated high school and in the middle of going for his fucking GED? Like, please enlighten me how that's possible.
Well, amazing that there's no punch.
No. I'm just saying, do you know how much you have to give up to be able to cut weight? Okay, to be able to cut weight, to get a coach, okay, to do everything you have to do to even get into a fucking ring for an amateur fight?
God,
what is he talking about?
Hearsay or what the fuck?
And we also know Bryan has a condition, right? Bryan has a condition that would completely nullify him from any kind of amateur fight. So what the fuck is this man talking about? He talked to an author. Did you hear what he said? He talked to an author. That means another book writer that he talked to that said he has 3 minutes of Bryan boxing. Oh my God.
Where, when, and how?
I would love to see it.
Of 162 times. So there was more than enough time. There were
a lot of people can do 162. So now punching a punching bag makes you. So now every punch, when you punch a punching bag, that means that you can actually strike somebody with a knife just with the same amount of and fight them off Yo, what the fuck, dude? I feel like I don't know what I feel like. This is a joke. I don't know what happened.
That's not good. We know where we were. It was like, I know where we're at.
Is that the one right here?
Yeah.
He's an amateur boxer. They have a whole thing of him in the ring. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 162 punches.
So 3 minutes. So that means he won the fight in 3 minutes?
Be like, oh, he couldn't do 150 in 12 minutes. No, they have him in 3 minutes
he threw 162 punches in one round? Steven. He threw 162 punches at an individual's head in 3 minutes. Really? Really? Like this. Not bobbing, but just like this. And somebody just let him punch him in the face 162 times.
Steve, go watch a boxing match, please.
Of 162 times.
Oh, I'm so glad I can shit on this narrative.
There was actually more time for you to
I'm
go
bring up Jesse Harris just for the shits and giggles.
Things, change clothes, whatever you did.
The owner of the gym
there, and they were going to show him physically doing it against another human being that was.
There's 4 of them, motherfucker.
I still talk to Jesse and his son. So if I get pissed off enough, I'll fucking bring Jesse on here to say flat out, Bryan Kohberger never stepped foot in my gym. So I would love to know what gym he was boxing at, because Jesse knows all the fucking gym owners. So was it in Stroudsburg? Was it in the Poconos? Was it in Washington? Like, what is he talking about?
Did nobody's ever seen him? I've never heard this come up ever.
This is insanity.
I was willing to fight him, and these people are sleeping in bed. They had a really
They weren't
good
sleeping,
plan.
Steve.
Some parts they were going to execute really well. Other parts they didn't execute as well. But to anyone who thinks that somebody could go in there, they didn't have enough time. You don't know your facts. They were going to show you to your face.
Jesus Christ.
So you think, Sai, you right? I mean, you would know, I guess.
Thank
You're
you,
on the
Brian.
inside
I love how Bryan just
Dan
completely
Taylor
disregards Steve's
actually believes
bullshit.
he's innocent and has an unhealthy relationship with him.
I am concerned about the
Dumb as
ongoing
fuck, Ashley.
communication.
This is sick. This is
the
sick.
protection, just that I don't know how else to explain it. Almost as like a motherly instinct with Bryan. To Steve's point, 100%. The Koberger family was way more involved on that plea deal than the victims' families ever were. I believe that there was conversations going from the jail in real time.
Because they didn't want it.
Again, he believes.
Mm-hmm.
I believe too. I believe a lot of shit. I believe in Santa Claus. Is Santa real?
I believed in until this motherfucker.
Why am I buying gifts every year for my daughter if I believe Santa's real?
Good
Fucking
point.
moron.
Time of this thing going down. There's no doubt about that. But I've done a lot of these cases. I've done a lot of death penalty cases.
Still in this motherfucker.
It is very unusual for the defense attorney on the case, especially one who's technically a public
You never worked for the
defender,
defense, so shut up.
to stay involved and active with the defendant.
It's not that.
in
It's not
prison
that uncommon, Brett.
visitations the year following a plea deal.
Not that
That is
uncommon.
incredibly rare. Like
No, it's
there's
not.
the case is done.
No, it's
No
not.
one is making contact
at all.
with him. So the idea that it's all Ann and only Ann, and he hasn't
It's not only Ann, motherfucker.
It's cracking, lacking.
obtained a new attorney for this appeal, to me is very telling. I think jail logs and jail calls would really expose a regular routine between Ann and Bryan that they're visiting and talking on a weekly, if not daily basis at
Who
times.
cares? It's his attorney.
I know. My
Who
God,
cares
this
this
guy.
shit? Is this guy supposed to talk to nobody and just sit in the
Right,
fucking?
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
Sell by
Brian, just go to a hole. Go to a hole and die.
So they were like, "Hey, Bryan, you want to see your
Which is
family? Sign this
weird.
piece of paper. We'll,
Right.
we'll fly him out
That's
here for
unhealthy,
you."
in my opinion. As a criminal defense attorney, you got to keep that line between your clients, right?
They were fighting for his
Yeah, I was
case
told
behind
by
your back.
insiders
He
that
actually they were
small
fucking.
community we live in that said
Right.
she's purposely after you, Steve. She's
motherfucker.
she's watching your interviews, making us all watch it together, and coming up with discovery based off your conversations. And once I learned that, guess what? I started
Oh, wait
talking
a
about
minute.
Bluetooth. I started talking about other things, and just put her on rabbit trails.
She went down all of them, motherfucker. And guess what? Every time she tried to present to debunk their shit, they fucking threw it out. They wouldn't let her fucking like, oh my God.
I'm just not gonna say. You know what? I'm just
Just
not gonna
to
say
play
anything anymore.
chess
I'm
with-
just gonna watch.
Yeah.
Her, but
Okay.
I've heard some really
Oh.
unnatural things are going on in this case.
Is there evidence? I'll save Steve for a minute. On Olivia's cue, is there? I'm just joking. Is there evidence, Sai, that we don't know about that was never public?
I think there's definitely stuff that has been withheld and has still been withheld. You know, I don't know how much it was conveyed to the victims' families, universally, not just Steve and Olivia, but
I
across
hope I'm
the board.
dreaming, Kat.
You know, there's some really disturbing things on his internet history that I don't know ever really came out. That would be incredibly hard to just simply show and walk away from a jury, not thinking that it's going to leave a big impact, especially on the case of this nature. I'm talking right now specifically his
Dude,
porn
can you imagine
history.
if we got arrested
He's
and they
got a
looked at our history?
Disturbing porn history.
They'd be like,
that's-
"Why are you guys watching? Why are you watching crime
What?
documentaries every night?"
And why are you looking at BDSM for him? Like, you know what I mean? Why are you
Like
talking
that.
about, my search?
Yeah, right. You can't even watch porn in peace anymore.
Christ, if they got a hold of me, my husband's thing, they'd be like, this guy's raping her. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Part I'm dying for you to watch. Really, I'm watching.
picture.
And that's all non-consensual acts. And I also heard gay, male to male gay.
who
Is that
cares?
accurate?
I
Male
don't
to male
Was
gay.
Ethan fucking
know
here?
on the
No.
gay stuff, and quite honestly, I
Sorry, not to be
don't
rude,
mean
but
this in the way it's going to sound. I'm not focused on the gay porn. For me,
I know
it's
what you're focused on.
yeah,
what, tying people up? I get tied up all the time by my husband. What the fuck you got to say about it?
for me, you hit it on the head, Olivia. The
Fuck.
non-consensual, violent nature of the porn.
I was aware of terms drugged, raped.
Then why is it on a porn site?
Passed out, sleeping.
Well, none of that was true in his case. Then
On
I don't understand it. Well, who lets that on a porn site?
Sexual encounters. So not the sleeping or passed out, but very aware of what's happening and it being very, very violent. Which is always a tough thing for a prosecutor, or a defense attorney to get through. That's something.
Let's just make porn illegal for everybody, because if you're a complete rapist and murderer.
Yeah, listen, the only thing I'm typing in now on porn sites is just regular porn. I'm just gonna type in regular porn.
Missionary, please. Missionary, please.
Missionary porn with clothes on.
Like, right?
Story about somebody's character.
And God forbid you grab my neck. God forbid, don't do that. Don't grab my hair either. God damn.
I think that there's stuff to still come out. I think you guys are going down the right road. I've quietly been watching, waiting for more to drop. I can tell you, for me, the location information and the pattern of life, it hasn't come out because I don't think they ever looked at it. And it is by far the most telling of what we have out there.
It means
by the way, the day
I'm bringing out my best friend who boxed 10 times longer than me.
Trying to show these patterns.
Shut their bullshit down. Because he would know if Bryan even went to the gym after I left the area. So, like, I'm telling you, I will fucking kill this whole narrative.
You have to be, and then to be amateur, you have to like be really like known. I would say great.
You have to at least forget it. There's no possible way with his condition, with the timeline of, because again, Skylar Jacobson would talk about how they would just jog. There was no boxing involved. All these people talked about how he was a runner, how he was this, he was that. Nobody ever fucking said he boxed. I brought Mike up. Mike said he never boxed. I brought Rich up. Rich said he never boxed. I'm going to bring the fucking owner of the boxing ring up, the boxing gym up in that whole area, to say that Bryan Kohberger never stepped foot in his gym one time. So where did Bryan get all his training from to become an amateur boxer? Enlighten me. In 6 months, 5 months in Washington?
It's like, why don't you just ask his family? Why don't you just ask the people that actually know Bryan? What does he even do?
He can be a TA. He can go for his GED while he's an amateur boxer, while he's a vegan. So he's a vegan, but he was an amateur boxer. I'm fucking done, dude. I'm fucking done.
And beats a heroin addiction.
I'm fucking done.
Good job.
He was a heroin addict, amateur boxer,
right,
with a condition. Vegan.
Decides to throw his life away for absolutely no fucking motive, by the way.
Don't ever say that name again to me.
Like they just stopped on November 13th.
I'm talking to somebody in chat.
As an investigator who's looking at a lot of crimes like this, I want to see
what he's already
this week, the next 2 weeks, the next month. Like that is
like somebody who's wrong 99% of the time.
See very defined behaviors of suspects like this. And the very next
watch gay porn, so I guess he was after Ethan's ass.
Turns his phone off. He turns it back on, and he's southbound on I-95. It's almost a mirror of what you saw the day before.
The Barnhart said that they found a config file that they had to reproduce, and luckily they had exact same phone. But basically, he went through a pattern. He turned off the Wi-Fi. Then I'm going to mess this up, but he turned off the Wi-Fi, like airplane mode, then put VPN, and then put VPN to only establish connections after start. And he did this whole thing, and that was brand new. He hadn't done that in the config files. That was the first time he did it, and they're going to bring.
Let me ask you something real quick.
This is a new behavior.
If Bryan went through all these steps, to be hidden, VPN, all this shit, then why wouldn't Bryan take right? So what Sai said is Bryan knew the routes to take to avoid the LPRs. Why wouldn't Bryan take the exact same fucking route that he took driving there? Please tell me that. Enlighten me.
Exactly.
Did he get lost? Did he all of a sudden get lost on this route that he just took 3 to 5 minutes prior? Did he all of a sudden get lost?
Like, and he's saying a pattern.
He had the perfect route there with no LPRs, and instead he goes south and around this whole fucking thing that he just admitted that he's never fucking been in, and he knew it, and he knew that route had no license plate readers. What the fuck are we talking about here?
Yeah. So what's he saying? If there's no license plate readers,
yeah, look, when I go down to the gas station and I drive down the road, I drive right back up home. I don't go all the way around back because I know that's the route. And if I'm trying to be conspicuous and not have, not anything look out of the ordinary, not turn on my phone, not use my GPS, I'm going to go the exact same route I went there and back.
Exactly.
But yet, he says, fuck it, and goes to wherever the hell this jackass said he went.
I mean, even if he did, who fucking cares? Maybe he wanted to go to a different
This is blowing my fucking absolute mind. Like, if
it just makes no sense.
No unbiased nobody can look at this and say he had, you know, adequate legal representation, adequate witnesses. When his witness is doing this, and his fucking lawyer, we know what she did. So he has the strongest case I've ever seen in my life for ineffective counsel. And he's just making it stronger. This jackass has no idea he's making it stronger. He thinks he's just, you know.
They've convicted people on way less. I mean, way more than, they've convicted people on way less than this. Like, so what the fuck? Like, they're saying they have all these things, but they didn't.
Duh.
Like, and a new behavior that he did.
Why would you fucking wait till afterwards to talk about it?
Before and after, and he doesn't do it again. He like stops coming back to the Moscow area after the murders. He doesn't go back there anymore. So anybody who thinks he's over there just shopping, they're like,
he went home.
And I guess the message really is to the world is you can't commit these crimes anymore and get away with it. And that's really what I'm
because
trying
somebody
to say
fucking kidnapped Nancy Guthrie. They don't know who the hell he took her, right?
Right.
Nobody knows where Nancy Guthrie is, but you can't commit a crime in 2020, whatever the fuck you just said.
You know who has Nancy fucking Murphy and Chloe Albert? They were sent over to the witness protection farm. They're the ones that kidnapped Nancy because all them go, like, you know, they go around, they must be going around setting people up and like framing people for murder.
It's just amazing. It's amazing how certain people can get away with it, but yet the average person can't. Okay.
I know.
Whatever. Dude.
I know. Like, whatever. They have all this evidence, but they can't find the track anybody that was at Nancy Guthrie's house.
Who's
with the labs I'm working with.
Higher profile fucking person.
Say this on regular TV.
Yeah, and there's actually more DNA of the Nancy Guthrie thing with blood.
And there's 10 times more investigation.
Very, very rare. People don't get away with rape anymore because there's
no rape,
and
Steve.
That's leading.
Nobody was raped, Steve.
Everyone's starting to learn. If I do this, I'm going to get caught. And we need that same message in these murder cases. And I don't know how to say that in a mainstream media format, but I'm trying to work on it.
Tank your podcast, Bryan Enton.
What'd you say, Olivia?
So we're just going to tank your podcast instead. My apologies.
No, it's okay.
You are tanking it because
I know, right? It's like, please don't.
It's like, seriously, they went from all the shit they made us believe for 3 years. Then at the very end, Hitler says, we have absolutely nothing. All we have is that he pleaded guilty. And then we have Stacey Chapin, oh my God, whisper in my ear, blah, blah, blah. We had him in 4 days. And then nothing. When we go to and presenting all this shit that we're saying, that gets thrown out. But then we go to a plea deal, which that's the evidence that he did it. Now this motherfucker saying, no, there's all this other shit that they had. They just couldn't put in court and show us. All the proof.
I just don't like that he's starting. I just don't like when he's asked a question, he starts with my opinion, I think.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? There's no facts. There's no fact basis here. And this is a guy who would have seen all of it.
Yep. So your fucking shit ain't that good, is it, buddy?
Okay.
So on that,
or they'd use it.
Steve and Olivia, let me give you a name.
Fuck, here we go.
Follow this case. I think it's really, really important. The name is Matthew Nilo.
Nobody gives a shit, bro.
So Nilo.
Okay.
Matthew is an attorney who was practicing in New York, but he went to law school in Boston. And in the early 2000s, when he was in law school in Boston, he was a serial rapist. And I want to say he had 7 victims that they've identified.
Why are we talking about rape? Bryan didn't rape anybody, motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. Bryan watched all this, whatever porn they're talking about, but yet didn't do anything to any of the victims there and had 8 hours to.
After these murders, they did the exact same thing. It's the exact same team with IgG. And they took some of the DNA from one of those rapes. They ran it through IgG. And like I said, it's the same team that worked on the Koberger case. And they got a hit on Nilo. And they went and did the 1-to-1 comparison. They got it. They arrested him in New York. That case is working its way through Massachusetts right now. He's going to challenge the idea.
Well, Massachusetts, so that's just
that's a completely different state and a completely different basis of why the crime was committed.
GG. And he's going to win.
How many IgGs have won? 2.
The thing I want you guys focused on, because this is probably one of the more infuriating things. And if somebody's told you this, I'll shut up. But if they haven't, they are doing a huge disservice to all of the victims' families right now by not giving you guys the lay of the land. The defense is going to buy all the time they can
24, what's
until
up, buddy?
one of these IGG cases hits a major appeals case or the U.S. Supreme Court.
Nobody's hiring him,
When it does, you can kind of mark my words here. The rule is going to become you have to have a search warrant for IGG. You just
should have fucking had one to begin with.
Most states have already started to adopt it, but this Nilo case is really likely. He's got the resources, the funding, and the knowledge to take this to the Supreme Court. If that happens,
Brian didn't,
and they actually
touch DNA.
Hey, when you sidestep the search warrant and you step outside of policy, IGG is out. If that ever happens, that is Brian's gold card right there. And I think that the defense, they're watching this case very carefully.
Why they wouldn't get in their phone
to see what happens with this, and everything you guys are going to see the next year or two is nothing more than buying time.
But would that even matter if he pled guilty? I mean, it's not like he had a trial and then was found guilty, and then he could go back and say, oh, the evidence they used at trial against me, is unfair. Like he still pled guilty. That had nothing to do with the IGG.
So here's the issues, and there's two huge issues here. And again, Steve, if somebody's explained this to you, then
stop worrying about their fucking emotions, you pussy.
Like you guys, you have to be aware of this. The fact that the prosecution probably never told you about Garza versus Idaho. And man,
Jesus Christ.
Commit that one to memory. So Garza versus Idaho is a U.S. Supreme Court involving Idaho, where a guy who took a plea deal, who voluntarily pled guilty, actually got it reversed. And he took it all the way to the Supreme Court. So plea deals are not the closing of a case. Plea deals aren't like, okay, we're going to put this behind us, we're going to let everybody
it's going to end up there
here.
too, watch.
Anytime a prosecutor frames a plea deal as closure.
I know. Hitler's going to be like, well, okay, yeah. It's going to get out of your courts.
And I'm telling you, the Supreme Court's not going to fucking give a shit. They're going to look at this and be like, let him out. Now.
Like plenty of people are doing what you said this guy was doing. Plenty of people are driving around that area. Plenty of people live there, eat there.
That's the problem. There's too many people. And again, touch DNA. I don't give a fuck. Brian could have shook hands with somebody that then went and committed this crime. Simple as that. I mean, literally fucking YouTube, touch DNA, watch 10 videos, and then you'll realize, oh, they could be transferred from person to person to person onto a sheet.
Less than a grain of sand, but then you have blood samples that are a thumbprint big.
Exactly. So let's investigate the invisible DNA we have. But fuck
right. The worst one to prove.
Fuck the 4 blood DNAs, right?
Yep.
Let's go to the one we can't see.
All the time on it.
The hardest one to prove is the one that with Bryan's, and then
defense. Believe it or not, defense attorneys use touch DNA to get people off, and they were using DNA to fucking put him in jail. So
you're right.
The Supreme Court's not going to go for this bullshit. I'm telling you right now.
No.
Appeal. The second thing, and man, I am not a Hitler fan at all. I think Hitler made a critical error when he made the ruling that IGG could come in as a tip, so be it. But the moment he prevented the defense from being able to expose to the jury that the lab techs willingly, knowingly violated their own policy to do it, it's not a constitutional issue. That evidence comes in, but it does become a credibility issue. And any other court in the United States,
and he's helping both sides here. This is
law
great.
Enforcement oversteps the policy as it relates to evidence. You got to explain that on the stand. And I think if the prosecution did it right, you can explain that. Hey, for the interest of justice, for X, Y, and Z, we made this tactic.
You violated his rights. You think they're going to go for that? You fucking idiot.
As soon as any juror hears that there's 4 other fucking DNAs, and then you tell them it's blood, all their mind is going to stay on the 4 blood DNA samples. That's why they will not take this to fucking court. Either Brian will be let out, or they're just going to keep him in there forever on some bullshit. That's it. It's just not going to court.
Yeah.
They can't. They have no crime scene. They have no evidence. They have nothing they can provide. Nothing.
And there's more substantial evidence against all the other people.
But the moment that Hitler made the decision that the jury can never hear about any of that, and the defense is not allowed to cross-examine officers who knowingly, intentionally violated policy on the most critical piece of evidence in this case.
Man, he's helping Brian so much right now.
That in of itself, when challenged properly, has the ability to bring this case back. Now, to Steve, to your point, do it right. 10 times out of 10, he gets convicted, and maybe more comes out, and it really does put some closure behind this.
Too late.
Bring back the death penalty. I am all for this. But I think that there's I don't agree with the national populace right now that his appeal doesn't have legs, and it's very unlikely it's going to happen. I think there's a couple things that if it falls into place just right, it could happen. So I just say that as prepare yourself, right?
I've talked to some crazy labs, and there's some multi-billionaire. Okay, his house got broken into. Somebody stole his safe. Didn't just take it. Didn't just.
I like how they just like compare all these other weird cases. To, like,
I love how all these shit that they're talking about has nothing to do with this case.
Yeah, no quadruple murder.
Stealing a safe, rape, all this other bullshit has nothing to do with this case.
I know.
Break into it, they took it, and long story short, a cigar was left behind. This guy hires a private lab to get a snip off of it.
Saliva, bud.
And then uploads it to all and goes and finds the person who robs his house and shot his dog, which is like, it's like a movie, okay? And he gives it to the cops as a tip. And they said, he just basically arrested this guy. And
are you high, Steve? What the fuck does this have to do with anything?
I think you're about to ask me that. I was about to die. I wish.
No, I know. I can't find my weed either at the moment.
Kind of is taking shit over it because he was supposed to handle it himself. So, long story short, he starts his own company. And he's just going through certain locations that he's deemed as high risk. And they're just grabbing people's DNA and uploading it as if they own it. But once you abandon your DNA, you don't own it. So then they're making these databases to sell to the freaking cops. So it's an I'm going to say he's a criminal, and this is a weird story, but I really don't know he was or not, or he was just a shady business guy. But he found a niche, and he's going in there because the database, CODIS is puny. There's almost nobody in it. So they need to get to these bigger ones, and he found this niche, and they're like, we're afraid to work with this guy because we feel like this is going to get shut down. But this is the stuff that's going on, Steve. This is the wild west of IGG.
What were you going to say, Olivia? Were you going to say something?
Brian's like, fuck you guys.
Yeah. So I guess that I just don't follow the logic completely that this is not an appeal. This is a post-conviction relief. The relief that he's asking for is for his guilty plea to be removed. Let's say that it's all granted. That essentially puts him back on the trial court. Let's say that they successfully delay until the Supreme Court decision in which it is deemed to be unconstitutional for the IGG process. We're assuming that that's going to be then done retroactively, then apply to this case. Let's assume that happens. Let's assume that IGG gets removed. It doesn't change his DNA being a direct match to the DNA on the sheath. So I guess I'm not following how we jump from these things happening. And I know you said that they're unlikely, you were like, if these things all fall together. But I'm not following how these things all fall together to then have the IGG removed, which then puts us in a position where the case is at risk considering the DNA is a match. So maybe the work was ethically budged, but the work itself is good.
What's up, Bianca?
Yeah, so let me give you a couple things on that. The best case I can reference you to is Carpenter versus US. And what Carpenter is, it's a bank robbery case, so obviously not anything of the nature of what we're talking about here. But in Carpenter, they do some cell tower dumps and they look at cell phone records, and they're able to place Carpenter at the scene of this bank robbery using cell phone records. But it's the FBI. And in 2017, well, actually, the ruling's in 2017. The case actually happens about 2010, 2011. The FBI gets involved, and instead of using a search warrant to get the phone records, they use basically what they call an admin subpoena, which is a supervisor at the FBI saying, hey, this is relevant to a criminal investigation, give us the stuff. So Verizon gets the records, and they put him at the crime scene. They recover some evidence based on the phone records. He goes,
when you get Ozempic face, you're literally, it makes you sink in like that.
Bro, I don't understand. Like, look at her arms, her wrists. Like, and she, like, why is she getting all this shit done when she's like, isn't she like 20 something too? 30?
Dude, she looked like a baby when we first met her. Yeah, she's
why
like,
chicks go? Well, I don't understand, man.
I mean, can you tell that I get a lot of Botox and fillers?
Listen, I don't know, man. Everything's crazy today.
Say, no, we should just said no. You just lied to me.
To prison.
I don't know
He finally gets his
how people get
appeal.
done.
It goes up to the U.S. Supreme Court, and this was the first
They're in
case
Jersey.
in the United States that challenged:
Mhm.
can law enforcement look at your location data without a search warrant?
Geo warrants.
She's
Yeah,
young.
and basically
Doesn't
the
look
Supreme Court
old.
said no.
Mhm.
Looking into your location data is so personal, it requires a search warrant. And this was the landmark case for cell site location information that requires law enforcement. And now everybody except for the FBI was getting search warrants for a decade before this because we all knew
I
where
could have
this
told
was
you that.
going. But the FBI was doing it at that point.
So how does he have a claim?
So it reversed. It reversed the conviction because the conviction was based on the phone records, and the Supreme Court said, "Hey, you should have had a probable cause search warrant, and you didn't." The phone records went away, so they had to retry
Olivia's starting to
Carpenter
realize.
and prove the case
Yep.
without the phone records.
They
which
all-
luckily
they
had
both
a
are.
ton
Look
of
at Steve
evidence
and
they were
her.
able to do. So that's the first one: is should law enforcement have reasonably?
Listen, my question is this. Why would they go through all of that trouble to follow him across the country and dive through his parents' trash to then possibly make a mistake and not have any of his DNA, rather than just watching him for one day leave his apartment, throw his trash in the dumpster? You know exactly what color trash bag he has. Get that out of the dumpster in fucking Washington, and then boom, you have his actual, like, why do you need to do this? Why do you need to follow him across the country and then pull his parents' trash when supposedly they were on him before December 19th, and they could have just watched him outside his apartment, watched him, I mean, literally gone onto his door. You know what I mean?
Stacey,
like,
remember Stacey Chapin whispering? I mean, not Stacey Chapin, all from Labs whispering in Stacey Chapin's ear 5 days before Thanksgiving, which is the beginning of or the end of November. We got him. We got him.
yeah.
Don't worry. We
That's what I'm
got
saying.
him.
Why? So why are they going through all that trouble to potentially fuck up? Yet,
Right.
instead of just getting his DNA from his actual trash from his apartment.
Which what they probably fucking should have just did, and they wanted to like.
But there's a reason they didn't. Is my I guess is what I'm getting at. Like,
yeah.
They always take the easy route. In this case, they follow him across the country, pull him over twice, and then take a chance, possibly being caught on camera, dumpster diving in his trash. Like, what are we doing here?
I'm just confused why they just didn't go right to him. I don't understand. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You literally have him surveilled right there. Like,
wait a minute. Hold on, back up. They say that they got touch DNA that they tied back to his family somehow. How the fuck did they do that?
By pulling the trash and then comparing.
Yeah, but how did they know to go to his fucking trash though?
What do you mean?
Like, how did they know that trash was going to match to the DNA that they had?
This is what I'm saying. So why would why would they take that shot instead of just following him for a couple days at his apartment and then just pulling his trash out of the fucking actual dumpster there?
Over a fucking tip. Wow.
And it wasn't a private community where in this case you have armed fucking guards, you have a gate you have to get past, and then you have to sneak up to his property and dumpster dive. Like,
not even dumpster dive, go in his yard and fucking go right in his trash like a normal, like people would see you.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you risk all that rather than just, having somebody sit in a car for a day or two until he throws out trash or throws something out? Follow him to a vegan restaurant. He throws out a cup, just like, he's right. Once you discard your DNA, that's why when you go to an interrogation, that's why, listen, if anybody ever goes to an interrogation, okay, and they give you a water, don't fucking drink the water. Don't ask for a water. Nothing. Don't ask for fucking nothing if you get interrogated, because they're going to fucking take that and use it against you.
And if they ever want you to use a pen, use your sleeve, but make sure you're using your sleeves.
This is what could happen. You could wind up fucking paying the price for some shit 3-4 other people did.
Yep.
Insanity. This is insanity.
This is my hang up on the Koberger case.
We can't watch porn now. We can't drive around in circles. We can't take another route out because we might
just go to the ATM. We can't use our GPS. We can't. Nope. We can't look at we can't look at the stars. What else can we do? It's insane.
You can't take pictures. You can't shut your phone off at night.
And again, all this bullshit you tell to a jury, they're going to laugh at you.
They're like, I do the same shit, man.
Yeah, there's at least going to be a couple dudes on the jury that'd be like, I watch porn too. Wow.
Yeah, like, check my porn history. I'm getting arrested, motherfucker. I'm sure that all of them, a lot of people would say that shit.
But I don't understand the whole bringing up the gay porn. Like, he didn't go to a frat house and like, he went He didn't even know Ethan lived there. So like, or Ethan was there. So why would he? This is fucking retarded.
There's no tied up people. There's no bondage people. There's no people tied up and being raped.
Nope.
There's nothing to do with any of his porn history.
But yet, on his way out, he had a fucking fawn cornered in her room that he could have just went in the room and did whatever he wanted with her. Instead, he just waves to her goodbye and walks out of the house.
Bye, Dylan. See you later. Remember, don't say you saw me here.
Fist bump, because remember what he just said. She saw him, he saw her. So you're telling me he killed the other witnesses, but he saw Dylan and said,
oh, let's leave her alone.
She's chilling. She's not going to call 911. And she didn't.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, oh, I'm just going to close my door and lock my door. I'll protect myself. I'm sure he's going to chance that one.
God.
And why is he going to continue to kill? He doesn't know if she's locking her door, running out and calling for help. So obviously he knew she wasn't going to do shit.
Wow.
If law enforcement would have written a search warrant for what they were doing with IGG, it doesn't hurt anything. We can seal search warrants. I don't have to release it. I'm going to go back to my undercover days. We did a lot of cartel cases. I was a cop in Arizona, so we had a lot of cartel cases on the border. We used to steal cars to wire them with GPS because we needed to get access on the car to get our GPS in there, right? So we would literally order the key from the manufacturer, and we would go steal cartel members' cars. And then
they didn't even know her.
Recover it and give it back to them. It's a great scam. We wrote search warrants to ourselves so that we documented what we were doing, and there was transparency with legal oversight on our actions. When we allow the FBI to go through back doors and to kind of trick the system, and if you ask them, why didn't you write a search warrant to GED? Match GED. Well, we didn't write the search warrant because they wouldn't have given us the info.
I think it was Heritage.
You know what? I'm just happy that they're literally showing us
the idea.
All this is showing us that all of us here that have been fucking sticking with this case, that have been saying the same shit, we've all been right. Okay, as much as the guilters want to say, that's fine, but your own fucking dude here, right, who literally was on the defensive side, who would have seen all the evidence, has just sat here for an hour and whatever change and has said nothing concrete. No other evidence that's concrete against Bryan. Nothing. All he said was possibilities, I think, my opinion, and then he said 25 meters in the living room and then in the general area. What the fuck did we learn from this? Other than
there is, man.
He thought Bryan was guilty before he started helping the defense, which is going to fucking come back to bite him in the ass saying that. Hard.
How can he can't just admit that Bryan's phone plus thousands of others like Molly McMeth's were all in the same area, just happened to be maybe like.
I'm telling you right now, all four of these people are going to wind up on the same fucking. You're going to see this exact same thing in about a year or so from now, and it's going to be a completely different tune. They're all going to be whining about how this got dropped, and all they're going to be doing is shitting on the FBI, shitting on the prosecution, just like they're kind of doing here. But they kind of still, they kind of still want to have that hope. But that shit's going to go, and then they're going to be back here bitching about this, bitching about that, instead of actually asking questions on why aren't you guys investigating? Why aren't you guys looking into the blood?
But why aren't your investigations collaborating? Why is this one not matched up with this one?
As a parent, and your child is killed, how do you not care? I don't care if it's blood, piss, urine, saliva. I don't care what it is. If there's other DNAs that were involved, why aren't those people being brought to justice?
Right.
Come on, man.
93 minutes.
That's sick. As a father, I can't relate to this sick fuck at all, man.
I know, me neither. I just think about Olivia. Like, if that was my little sister screaming for help, saying somebody's in the house, and you don't call for 911.
He's talking to authors, he's talking to billionaires, and he's asking all the wrong questions instead of trying to get to the bottom of who was the prosecution protecting. That's what he should fucking be worried about. He should be dark. He should go dark, and nobody should know where the fuck Steve's at right now. Steve should be doing his own thing, trying to figure this out. But instead, this is what he does.
Yep.
Absolutely insane.
If they reverse that. And then you get Steve Nye, and you talk about somebody who should not have been involved with this case. If you guys haven't seen his, you know who Steve is?
Jeff Nye?
Jeffrey Nye. Sorry, Jeffrey Nye.
I know. I wish he wrote that in his letter.
Yeah.
He did an interview in August with Fox News. You guys have to go watch this interview, and he explains the.
I think he actually told this in purpose because Christy Dawn asked him, "What do you worry about?"
Oh, here she comes.
And he said the same thing.
Who?
And yeah.
Ozempic number 2.
I've worried about, it's not so much him explaining, because I agree with him. The entire case was hinged on the IgG. It's what he says towards the end when he says, and usually with these type of things, we can argue inevitable discovery. And what inevitable discovery is the Carpenter case. Yeah, we have these phone records and it helped put the case together, but take the phone records out, inevitably we still would have discovered all this stuff and we could prove the case. And that's why Carpenter is still in prison today, even though those records got thrown out.
Especially considering it went to Othram first and they found the right tree. They were on the wrong branch. And Leah Larkin herself testified in the Franks hearing that eventually it would have led to him.
Oh, eventually.
100%. The problem is Jeffrey Nye on Fox TV during that interview said, we didn't even argue inevitable discovery because there was nothing that applied for it. And I'm like, dude, shut up. What are you saying? More importantly than even what Othram found, we have to remember on November 29th, Washington State University identified Bryan Kohberger and the vehicle, realized that he had just swapped his plates for Washington plates, and notified Moscow PD. The idea that Bryan Kohberger would have been completely absent of this investigation minus IgG is absurd. All they had to do was follow up on credible leads. That's it. That's all they had to do.
So because he followed the law.
Okay. So yeah, I think that we're on the same page.
No, you're not.
And I'm not saying I ever think this thing gets reversed. What I'm saying is if you guys, as the victims in the case, in all of the victims' families, if you're not being told, hey, this could be 5, 6, 8, 10 years before this thing works itself out in the criminal justice system, you're being misled.
I think there's something on Kaylee's phone that fucking they don't want anybody to see. That's my opinion.
That case came down in 2018, and that's just the appeals process. That's not even the initial case. So I think we're in for a very long ride on this. I think there's a lot of things that are going to still happen. I don't know that he's going to get his post-conviction relief. I think they're anticipating.
All right, let's shut this shit down. I had enough of this fucking psycho.
To an appellate review.
Let's talk about something real quick. Shut the shit off. I heard enough. So, what the hell did we just watch?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen something like that? Has anybody ever seen something like this?
He's saying he has all this information, but the people investigating aren't following. They don't take they're not taking him seriously, is what it sounds like, right?
I mean,
he has all his evidence. They're not taking him serious at all because, like,
I just love how Cy the whole time is bringing up other cases that have been dropped in the same fashion. And at the end there, he says, "I don't think this is going to get overturned or anything." Bro, you literally just said that fucking the IgG is a problem. So if the IgG is a problem to you, you don't think the IgG is going to be a problem to the Supreme Court?
Like, at first, we've been convicting people on DNA, blood DNA for fucking how many years now? And all of a sudden, we don't have to use blood DNA on a quadruple murder where we have nothing fucking else to prove this guy might or may not have been there. Huh?
I don't know. What's my tattoo? It's a fucking Spartan.
I was just going to say, did you just get that?
No. Fuck no.
Oh.
I got a Spartan on my heart and I got a cross on my fucking... That's it. I'm not one of those to get a full sleeve and all that. Fuck that shit.
I got warrior down one side. I got free down the other side.
If Bryan Kohberger was an amateur boxer,
where did that come from?
You don't understand how much I want to bring Jesse Harris on here now. Because that's the only.
Really, what don't you say Steve Gonzalez? Like, where the fuck did you get? How about? Hey, Steve, look, let's try to be on the same page here, Steve. Let's try to get on the same page.
That was a narrative before. Now he's saying there's a 3-minute video of Bryan throwing 160. Listen, if I hit you 162 times in a round, you should not be an amateur boxer.
Right?
Think about throwing 162 punches in one round. Somebody go look at a fucking the last professional fight that was on pay-per-view. Tell me how many punches were thrown in one round and show me that somebody landed 162 fucking punches. I would love to see that in 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 162 punches.
Has he had any fights? I mean, like, where's all these fights? They should be online, right?
The other person must have had their hands down and just said, "Hit me." Boom, 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 162 times. Come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? How does anybody seriously think that this Brian's guilty and there's nothing else going on. How could somebody seriously watch that or look at any of this and truly, in the bottom of their heart, believe that? How? How?
I know.
I don't care if it was Brian or not. I don't care if it's fucking Joe Schmo. I don't care at this point if I fucking knew him or not, knew his mom or not. I don't give a fuck. I'm pissed at the simple fact of this is the most injustice shit I've ever seen in my life, aside from, Delphi.
And Karen Reed.
Yeah, but at least Karen Reed got off. Which
well,
is
kind of.
You chicks have it great, man. You guys get to get off with fucking charges. You guys get to chill for 8 hours with each other, cleaning up crime scenes, and then fucking be treated like royalty. I wish I could do that. Fuck, man. They look at me and be like, "You're coming with us." Okay.
Trust me, not all girls get away with it.
I'm just saying that from the cases that I've been presented when I first got into crime was Delphi, this, and Karen Reed. And the only person that got off was the chick. And the only witnesses I got off in any of them was fucking the chicks. Okay? So what do you want me to do? You want me to lie?
If it wasn't for my dad, we would have got away with it. So
you think, listen, you think if there was two guys in there that were up for 8 hours texting other people, this, that, and the third, that they were just going to let them go back to the same hotel and corroborate a story?
I just can't believe that they know Hunter's phone was there, and not one time have they questioned why, or were you really, or even questioned maybe he was there.
No fucking way. You will never see me on a news network. You will never see me anywhere. Fuck those people. Okay, you guys know the truth. You guys see the bullshit. You guys can believe me or not. I don't care. That's why I said this is why I bring people up to validate what I say, because I have no reason to lie. If Bryan boxed. I would tell you guys how he was, what he did, what I saw. I contacted my buddy Steve. Steve said he never fucking saw Bryan Kohberger one time in the gym, not even in the school gym hitting the bag, because it was a bag in the school gym. Nobody ever saw Bryan hit the bag in the gym in the school.
And plus, it would be documented somewhere online. He would have had somewhere his match, or what do they call boxing matches? Boxing matches. They would have been somewhere.
He's an amateur boxer vegan.
Now he's an amateur boxer.
Immediately jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to jail.
Look at his porn. Oh, he's going to prison. Look at his porn. Prison.
He watched gay porn. Prison. Like, what?
Oh no, guess what? There was gay porn.
So listen, so from what we have now, this is where my mind goes, because we don't know anything yet. Ethan's autopsy showed that he had a shit ton of amphetamines in his system, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if anybody knows anything about amphetamines, okay, you take too much of that shit without any sleep, you're going fucking crazy.
Yeah,
okay. Now, a lot of the psychosis stories that I've been watching, and I've watched probably over 150 now, okay, and probably 100 of them have been parents of kids that are now dead, okay. All of them always like take off their clothes or are doing some crazy shit. Ethan was found naked. Ethan was stabbed the least amount of times, okay, and there's one on Dr. Phil. This chick went into like a psychosis with. She says marijuana. I mean, I don't know.
But listen, I think she did just take a hit of marijuana and just kill the pastor. So I don't know.
Listen, she stabbed the dude 108 times.
Scary.
Stabbed herself in the neck like 1,000. So I don't want to hear that nobody could commit these murders and then not take out their own self. Fucking bullshit. When you're in a full-blown psychosis, you don't know what's going on.
She was in shackles. She had everything, and she was still fighting. And woke up the next day and had no clue.
It took 7 cops. They had to break her arm and all this kind of shit. And now you're talking about somebody that's 6'4", 240. He's running through everybody,
right?
You know what I mean? So again, just think about that. He stabbed the least amount of times. The biggest threat in the house is stabbed the least amount of times. That is so huge.
I know. I never thought about any of that. Wow.
Yet a person in the same room on the ground is stabbed 50.
Well, then why wouldn't Dylan just say it was?
And at no point has anybody ever fucking brought that possibility to light. It's always, he's a victim, so we can't talk about. It's victim blaming. Well, listen, shit happens sometimes. Okay, when you walk into a scene like that that's unexplainable, sometimes,
and it's unexplainable that like. You have Hunter walking over and telling his triplets, whatever, twins, and they're like, oh, my brother's dead.
And who's the clump of hair in his hand? And whose DNA was under the fingernails upstairs? Whose DNA was the most? They had the most of under the fingernails. Ethan's. And like I said, I don't want to talk about, a victim.
I know.
But if you think about it,
Yeah.
if you told me that rather than some fucking random nobody that didn't know nothing about any of them in the house or didn't know the layout, nothing,
Right.
I'm going to take this one 100% of the time.
Or Hunter.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what happened, Ashley. That's the thing. Like, until we have the names and the connections that we can build and the feuds that we can, build from there. Like, oh, this person didn't like this person. They were feuding. So this might have happened. That's fine. But until then, I have to go with what we know. And everything shows me that somebody went absolutely crazy in that house. To stab somebody 50 times is a lot of hate or a lot of rage, or you don't even know what the fuck you're doing sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there was a guy who shot another marijuana psychosis. He shot fucking his wife's dog, and he shot his wife in the wrist like twice, and then he didn't even know. Like, the nicest dude in the world turned into this
scared me. Yeah.
And in all these cases, the weirdest thing, and I don't know if people would still like get this kind of way if they didn't know about Satan and God and stuff like that. But most of these people have they see the devil, and the devil's telling them to like do this and do that,
right.
and they're sure, and then they're sure they're in hell, and it's like all these stories have the same, there's like that common,
Lindsay Clancy, the Lindsay Clancy case right now. She was completely fucking normal postpartum, but all of a sudden, like, she convinced her to what she did. And to me, I believe she was in psychosis.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So and then it would make more sense why the other two weren't killed, because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing at that point. He could have went upstairs, did what he did, then went to Xana, and then realized, what the fuck I just did that to my fucking girl, and then he fucking starts stabbing himself.
And you know what? Maybe there was a rumor that the drugs were, maybe he thought they did something, and just, not that he would kill them for that, but like in the back of his mind.
He had a hell of a lot of amphetamines in his system. And in my opinion, you're 10 times more fucking culpable to go into psychosis off amphetamines than fucking anything else.
Yeah, and who knows if he smoked a little bit.
Adderall is meth. And how many psychosis stories have you heard about meth? Thousands?
Yeah.
Okay. So like I said, lack of sleep, amphetamines, alcohol, all that mixed could fucking make somebody go absolutely nuts. And if you don't believe me, just do some searching tonight.
It's a theory, because Stacey Chapin wanted a lot of things covered up. She didn't want a lot of shit to come out about this.
Yeah.
No,
it wouldn't explain the cleanup unless
there was no cleanup according to that motherfucker.
Yeah, according to Sai, there was no cleanup. So I don't know what the fuck's going on here, But again, those two, Dylan lies. Dylan's 100%. She 100% lied about this all. Okay, she didn't see what she saw. We all know that now. Okay, so we can all agree with that. So she lied.
Sociopath. So
did she lie to protect the fact that what really happened? You know what I mean? That she didn't want to say like what she really heard, because what she, So again, I don't care if people fucking say something to me or not. I'm just going by what we know so far. Until we have names and relationships and this and that, then we can make a conclusion. But until then, I have to figure out how this happened. And for somebody to go in and not track nothing out makes no sense. But for somebody to be in there doing it all and to stay in there makes a hell of a lot more sense to me. No?
Yep.
I mean, there's no bloody footprints. There's no bloody drops. There's no nothing that they took pictures of outside of the home, on the back patio, on the front porch, nothing. So,
I know. There's no way that
So somebody went in, never came out, or was somebody already in and never came out? So again, all I'm doing is I'm just looking at what we know so far. So yell at me, or you can yell at me all you want. I don't give a fuck. It makes sense to me, rather than Bryan fucking Kohberger, who didn't even know these people, buying a knife a year prior before he even fucking buying a mask to do this before he even went out there or even knew he was going out there. Like,
it's cold as fuck. They hunt, and then they go camping.
Get your fucking emotions out of the fucking clouds, okay? And look at this from just a situational standpoint of what we know so far. We know this, we know that, we know this. Don't fucking bring in, he's this, but no.
Yeah.
What we know is what we know. We can't change it. We can act like Fox and say, I believe this
1988. 1988 this happened, and it's because it happened in 1988.
Yeah, he just did the same shit your buddy does every fucking live. Oh, I think this happened. I think that happened. He brought no facts. He brought nothing.
He called people liars. He called Turvey a liar.
He fucked himself when he said that I thought Bryan was guilty the whole time. That line, he fucked his whole reputation, and nobody is ever going to hire him again. And now that's out, and people will see that he has a bad relationship with the FBI, no prosecution's ever going to bring him on again. Are you kidding me?
I can't believe
it. His whole reputation. The only thing he can do now is write books. That's all Cy can do now is write books, and go on fucking these podcasts. That's all he can do.
If I were the FBI, I'd be like, "What are you talking about? Let's see. What are you talking about? What evidence aren't we fucking presenting? What aren't we doing, sir?"
Right? I'm just saying. Listen, I could be 100% wrong, but he stabbed the biggest threat in the house is stabbed the least amount of times. Why? Why wouldn't you make sure the biggest threat in the house is not the first one you take out, and you make sure you take him out? But in the same room, you stab somebody else who is 10 times less of a threat 50 fucking times? Fuck off, dude. Fuck out of here. You know? Did you read me some in the back?
Shh. How dare you?
I don't know, man. I'm just fucking ticked off from what I just heard. His books will not sell. Well, somebody said here they bought one and they're going to burn it. So, I mean, people like them. This is a thing.
He proved nothing.
Don't forget the fact that a lot of people fucking were on his dick. Everybody wanted to talk to him. Everybody wanted to talk to his wife. I never understood why. I didn't get the whole lore of wanting to talk to fucking one expert because he had a podcast. So fucking what?
I thought like he just had I thought he had the actual track of where Bryan went and knew for sure 1000% and was holding it back. And here he goes from center to 40, 50 feet, 80 feet. Oh, he was just driving down the highway. Like, of course he's driving down the highway. There's a highway there.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, is he not allowed?
I hope you can do it. I hope you do that. Burn like half of it and fucking send it back to him with a note that says like, you're a piece of shit.
Like, thanks for nothing, asshole. He
thought Bryan was guilty the whole time, yet he was going to stand up there and defend him in court. Think about that, folks. I'm going to leave you guys soon because it's over 2 hours and I never streamed this long. But think about that. He was going to get on the stand and defend a killer that he thought was guilty the whole time. Fuck you,
conspiracy theorist. You're conspiracy.
That's sick. That is sick shit, dude.
But he wouldn't have said that. There's no evidence to present his case.
And then the audacity to get on a fucking podcast and to talk to the victim's family?
And fuck Steve up the ass the whole time.
You are a narcissist, boy. You are the definition of a narcissist. I don't even know if there's another name. There probably is, but in my mind, you're a narcissist.
Gaslighter, yeah.
Gaslighter, narcissist, fucking psycho. I don't know what you are, dude, but I'm so glad you're not my father or my grandfather because that's dangerous. He's a dangerous fucking dude to have as a family member right there. He'll turn on you in a heartbeat.
They didn't even take his word for shit, so.
I know. It's so funny that Bryan like fucking, hey, Olivia.
I know. Actually, I don't think he replied either. He tried to clarify as much as he could, but I think they're just as fucking confused as we are now.
I'm still going to keep him as a clown on my fucking thing because he still had the audacity to name that as his video. Like, oh, there's evidence Bryan was in the house, when yet the evidence is 25 meters, living room, around the house.
Plus 50 feet.
Plus 50 feet. Fuck out of here.
Make a left turn here, nine turns here, and then that's where he was.
So again, you can think Bryan's guilty. Whoever thinks Bryan's guilty, you can think Bryan's guilty all you want. I don't give a fuck, but...
Explain to me how he did it then. That's all I want to know. If you think he's guilty, show me when, how, and where. That's all I want to know.
That's what I mean. And if there was any evidence that would come out, it would have been from what we just saw, and he didn't have nothing.
That was the last piece I was waiting for, was Cyril to say, well, this is why I took the plea, because I showed him he was here and there's no way around it. They obtained DNA illegally. That's why we did this.
Tomorrow, Bryan needs to write another fucking whatever to whoever and saying like, hey, my own witness just came out and said the whole time while he was going to, help me in court and stuff, that he thought I was guilty.
Check.
So not only my attorneys, my witnesses were compromised.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, this is crazy. This is gonna get crazy.
Nobody tells him about the clump of hair in Ethan's hand. When I reading his letter, it's like, wow, he's only hearing about this for the first time.
Wait, I mean, I didn't really like look into that. Whose hair was it?
They don't know. His hand slid down the wall, from what I understand, and I can't imagine there being that much hair stuck to a wall.
Okay, but if the hair came, but if the hair came from a victim or from a,
it came from a root. They had roots, but they couldn't say they didn't say who it was.
So that's what I'm saying. If it came from a fucking suspect, they would have tested the hair and found out who did it. So we know that the hair came from a victim.
I think it was from Dylan. Man. I actually think it's Dylan's hair, not Dylan's hair.
So what is Ethan's DNA doing under the fingernails of somebody upstairs, and then him having a clump of somebody's hair in his hand? That's not shady to anybody?
I never thought. Yeah, I did. Wow.
We're just gonna fucking bypass this because he passed away? Fuck that shit, dude. Fuck that. His parents never said a word. They were quiet as fuck for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Quiet as
and there was no reaction with
now everybody's worried. Everybody's worried about Kaylee's phone. What's in Kaylee's phone?
Probably some more evidence of what she could have been doing. Just so they more speculation, you know.
They can get into everybody else's phone, but not Kaylee's, huh?
I can't believe that. And they're all apples except for her. They're all apples. So why is hers the one that they can't get in?
I don't know, man.
We can at least see their health data when the last time they were breathing or their heart was beating, at least. I guess.
Yeah, I knew his family thought he was innocent fucking a long time ago. Like
his mom talks to him 3 hours a day.
Huh?
Doesn't his mom talk to him 3-4 hours a day as much as she can?
but when they went out there to see him, right? That was like their first fucking time. You know what I'm saying? So like again, in my opinion, that plea deal played a part in them getting his parents out there as part of like the deal. Bryan said himself that he fucking, was swindled into signing this.
I know, and I can't wait to see what else he has to say.
I know, because I just wish he would have mentioned the 4 blood DNAs in his letter and been like, "Yo, there's 4 fucking blood DNA samples that nobody identified. What are we doing here?" Like
the one thing that we've learned by you and I was when we're reading his research papers and how much he knows about this shit. And how much he knows what they do. So I hope that he is aiding in his own defense. And he doesn't, I mean, he's pro se, but I don't know if that means that Ann's off the case or what, but.
Not Ethan's DNA. I think it's HC. I think it is HC. Who's HC? Hunter
Chapin. Huh? Well, Ethan Chapin, Hunter Chapin. Huh. Oh, what the fuck?
I don't know, man. All I know is Hunter was in that house with the damn kitchen knife, and when the 911 call was made, there was a cop already there. When have you ever seen a 911 call made when there's a cop already on the scene? And you can't tell me there wasn't one because there's 5 fucking different instances of police chatter during the 911 call. You can't find me one 911 call right now on any fucking platform that has police chatter in it because they don't have that because that will fuck up their focus on listening. You know what I'm saying? Like that's never happening. So that police chatter must have came from the caller side. So
Snyder.
Why are they calling 911 when there's a cop already there?
Because Snyder wasn't supposed to be there.
Bingo. So again, I might be crazy, but I'm just going with the facts instead of I think this might have happened. I'm going by what is there and drawing my conclusion. That's it. Until we have more.
It's the critical, logical conclusion. It's not the 3 minutes thing.
And I'm telling you right now, if I plan something, right, I'm gonna know who the biggest threat in that house is, and I'm gonna make sure they're fucking taken out first, and they're taken out. I'm making sure they're taken out, not fucking whatever the fuck they're saying. Like, come on. It would have been. Well, why was he on the bed? Ethan would have fought his ass off and been on the floor, not the bed. You're telling me somebody overpowered Ethan and fucking held him on the bed? Fuck it.
Right. Not one person.
Because Bryan
not
was
even 2 people.
The amateur boxer now is all of a sudden a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Oh, now he does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's gonna be the next thing. Steve's gonna say he talked to another fucking author or another billionaire, and Bryan was the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fucking expert. Which I can also say that's bullshit because I know where the only Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym was as well. Like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was not big back in the day like that. It was boxing. That was it. There was boxing and Muay Thai. And Bryan was never in Jesse Harris's gym ever. He never stepped a foot in there. Ever.
Wow.
Not even to train. Nothing.
He's just not a fighter.
He's a jogger. He's a runner. He has a running body. A running body. He's not like when you fucking box, you have to lift, you have to fucking, he's a vegan. You can't build muscle as a vegan. You can tell me you can, but fucking okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah,
but anyway, I appreciate you coming up, homie. I'm probably gonna go eat some and let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Willie, can't they still introduce that? Yeah, I mean, listen, they can fucking.
I would like them to introduce all this non-evidence.
I just hope this goes to the Supreme Court. This is where this needs to go. This needs to go to an unbiased fucking court where not Hitler, not somebody else, some other. No, this needs to go to the Supreme Court. They need to look at this and say, what the fuck did you guys do?
Right.
And just let him out and just let him out. There's going to be no trial. It's either going to be they keep him in there on some bullshit or they let him out. That's it.
The burglary charge, they still can't prove.
They can't take this. They have no crime scene at this point.
None.
No evidence.
No time of death. No actual fucking time of death.
It's very sad too, because like I said, these kids deserve
way
justice,
better.
and they fucked it from the start. And I want to know why they're protecting these 4 blood DNA samples. Who are these people? Why are these people so important? I don't care if they're in fucking fraternities or sororities. I don't give a shit where they're from. Why are you protecting anybody?
I'm pretty sure they did come back to what's his face? I forget his name. The one that was unalive, swatted and unalive because he had 4 brothers. The fuck's his name?
Who?
The army guy. The army guy that was in the army with pain from your area. Fuck, what is his name? Guys, come on. He was swatted.
Kopaka?
Yeah, Kopaka. I really believe that Kopaka is the answer.
No fucking way. Again, somebody still needs to get out or get in and out without trailing any blood. You cannot stab somebody that many fucking times without cleanup in 3 to 5 minutes. I'm sorry. It's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they're saying, that somebody did this in 5 minutes. You're not fucking getting out of there without getting at least something on the back patio, the porch, the door, somewhere.
Right. And if they blood in the house, I guarantee they didn't check every.
Especially when you have your witness. Especially when you have your witness saying that he was just dressed in black, not in PPE. So you can't tell me he was dressed head to toe with booties on and this and that, because that's not what the witness saw. Unless we're just
a basketball belt.
Unless we're just going to say that the witness lied, then you have another problem on your fucking hands. So whatever. A 3-year-old called 911. Exactly. So
exactly.
Why didn't they call 911? Was it because they knew the person in the house that did it and they didn't want to, they didn't really know what to do because the actual person that did it was already dead?
No, stranger danger. You learn that in kindergarten, like she said.
Fuck that.
And then when you see somebody passed out, you learn that in college.
Listen. You're not going to go from seeing a fucking stranger in your house, seeing your friend dead on the floor, to not calling 911.
Oh, you're missing a whole bunch of other shit. The murderous stuff that was going on in between.
I'm just saying.
They heard.
I'm just saying. I don't believe anything she says, but something
between the two of them, they can't tell if it's fact or fiction.
I just want to know how they're not going down for accessory. Like with all the shit on their phone, how they're not charged with something. Like that's crazy.
They're lying. They're impeding investigation. They didn't render aid. They lied again. They lied again. And then
through it all, when 911's finally called, what do they say? There's an unconscious person. It's now daytime and you can actually see the blood and you're still saying she's unconscious, that you think she's drunk? Fuck off.
And what 911 officer says, go inside and see. You have to go check.
Exactly. Murphy probably would have called 911 if he could, for fuck's sake.
I know. Poor Murphy.
Like, it's another problem. But anyway, I'm going to hop down, homie. I appreciate everybody coming in.
I love you guys. You guys are the best chat ever.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Mods, thank you so much. Whoever's still here. And then thank you, Long Gone. Thank you for the Unk alert.
I don't know what that means. Does that mean you look like an unk now? Are we unking in?
I think that was for Cyray.
Okay, so I hope
but I am an uncle. I have a nephew, so I don't care.
I'm an aunt, but I don't know.
I don't give a fuck. I am what I am.
We're sexy unks.
We are what we are in this world. Either you're somebody or you ain't nobody. I'll be right back. I'm just kidding. That's from American. That's from American Gangster. Yo,
I'm gonna go. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I watched the last 10 minutes of Requiem last night.
Did you see what I was watching before you called when you just called me?
No.
I sent you the pictures of it. I said, look what I'm watching. And then you go, I'm going live.
What were you watching?
I was watching Requiem.
Oh, you're fucking nuts, dude.
I literally sent you the video. I said, look what I'm watching.
Thank you, thank you, Harlot. And Harlot, like I said, this is nothing towards you. I know you've always thought Bryan was guilty, but I'm just saying, you gotta look at all this and be like, what the fuck, man? Like, I mean, if you're charged with a crime and shit, and this is how they get you, like, that's just fucking retarded. I'm sorry. Like, nobody should. No, man. I mean, if you're gonna arrest him, arrest the other fucking 4 people too, and then tell us what happened.
Everybody else that watches porn and drives around and does things like
that whole gay porn. That was the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. And then the whole bondage thing. So you're telling me they have illegal fucking porn on porn websites that everybody looks at? Like, fuck off, dude. Get out of here. Because you look at a certain category that makes them, even though there was nothing done in the home to these girls like that, right?
Exactly.
Nobody's tied up. Nobody was raped, right?
Exactly. I said, that's the problem, Olivia. Nobody was raped. So let's just throw that out.
And then again, he had Dylan cornered in a room and decided to just leave. So, whatever.
See you, Dylan. Don't tell on me. All right, bye.
Yeah. Before I go, I just want to say, Dr. Fauci, you piece of shit, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, little fucker.
Yeah, me too.
I'm so mad that fucking we all listen to that shit about like.
Stop! I don't want to talk about it.
I'm saying, no. I'm going to talk because I had to tell families that they couldn't bring more than 5 people to a funeral. Okay, so I'm pissed, dude.
I'm pissed too because Bravo wouldn't let me in events.
Did you see how many adverse effects there are from the vaccines and deaths and shit like that?
Please don't. Yes, I know. I feel like I have a heart murmur now. I have high blood pressure now. My parents have vaccinated me a day in my life.
You don't understand how proud of myself and happy I am that I didn't get vaccinated and I didn't get my child vaccinated, because my sperm in about 10 years, I swear, watch this, my sperm in about 10 years is going to be worth fucking millions to these billionaires that can't have fucking kids because they want unvaccinated sperm, and most of the population got vaccinated. They had to. Yeah. I told my job was like, we're going to test you every day. I said, do it. Do it, motherfuckers. Test me every day. I want to see you do it. I challenge you to test me every day.
Dude, BravoCon makes $30,000 off us per person. They told us if we did not get vaccinated, we were not allowed in BravoCon.
Yep, and they told kids that if they didn't get vaccinated, they couldn't be on the football team, they couldn't be on the basketball team, none of that shit. I said, go ahead, fire me. I said, I want you to fire me because I won't get this bullshit vaccine. Do it.
I told Andy to suck my fucking dick. Bye.
I said, do
it. Never see me again.
Because 1, I'm not getting no foreign shit in my body, and 2, I am absolutely terrified of needles. Like when I went to the hospital, when my B12 went all the way down, and they were like trying to put an IV in my arm, I was freaking the fuck out. And she was like, relax. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am? You're sticking a needle into my fucking vein, dude. Like, ugh. So, yeah, I don't get no fucking vaccines, bro. You know?
Yeah, my parents are right. I mean, like, never as a kid. I've never been sick. I don't get sick ever.
And the funny and the craziest part is everybody that I know got the vaccine got COVID again. So
that's the one thing I never did was get COVID, but I got the vaccine very, very early, and I never went back to get the second part.
I had COVID, and that's where they were like, you had to quarantine from 10 days, and then it went to 5 days, then it went to 2 days, then it went to 2 hours. I'm pissed, dude.
And then the mask didn't work at all.
And then Biden pardons this fucking dude from dating back to like 2014 or whatever the fuck it was. So that means that nothing that he did throughout the time of COVID, he could be prosecuted for. That is fucking sick, dude.
And it's a lot of illegal shit that he did to us.
I don't care what side you like, the right or the left. They both in bed with each other, and they both don't like us as much as we want to think they do. They don't. And
we're enemy number one.
And every 4 years, we think that we're gonna like
make change
and vote somebody in that's gonna do something. Yeah, okay. Remember, I have the footage of JFK's driver blowing his fucking head off. So when we have a good president, they kill him.
I know.
All right. So, and by the way, that video of the driver shooting JFK is fucking scrubbed from everywhere.
I know. I tried looking for it one day.
Yeah, I was on.
My dad didn't believe me. I said, "Thanks for the God." And I actually went back to our live. I had to go back to our live to show him.
I sent it to you.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I had to go all the way back to that to find it.
I was going to post it on my Facebook, but I was like, nah, they're going to come for me if I post this shit. Because it literally shows the driver blowing his fucking head off clear as day. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The fucking driver shot JFK. Period. There was fucking we fucking we gave Al Qaeda $6 billion from 1989 to 1992. Do you know this? No.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah,
Bin Laden worked for the CIA. Did you know this?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I just found out.
Did you know they found bombs on the George Washington Bridge and there was 4 Jews arrested?
No.
No, you didn't. So again, there's so much shit that they just hide from us, and when you uncover it, you're just like, what the fuck, man? This whole world is a stage.
That's why people don't understand. Like, I can't stand our government. People are so mad at me about it. What do you mean?
I'm blessed when I was 11 or 12 years old that my buddy loved music, and he showed me I don't know if you ever heard of it. Everybody's heard the song "Dance with the Devil" by Immortal Technique, but if you look at other songs by Immortal Technique, he was saying all this shit fucking back 19 years ago. I was listening to this shit oh fuck.
You know what?
And everything he rapped about is coming true now.
You know what's weird? The 70s, when our parents were, that was supposed to be this age right now. The age of what we're having in life spiritual was supposed to be back in the 70s, but we got fucked for about, from the 80s and the 90s because of the
I cashed in on PPE. I saw this coming. When I saw Italy completely fucking freaking out about COVID, I was like, yo, it's going to come here and everybody's going to bug the fuck out. So I was buying boxes of 20 masks for $25. I'd put them on eBay and I let the world bid them up to $300-400 a box. I didn't ask $300 for it. They bid them up and I just sent them out to a hospital, to a university, hospital. People pay fucking 20 times more. I'm not going to stop them.
Dude, I live at the Jersey Shore on the boardwalk, and we're not supposed to be around all these people. This is a dead center of COVID. Nobody down the shore ever thought it. We weren't thinking about it. Not really anybody got sick. And if you want to tell me there's 4,000 deaths in my county, I didn't see 4,000 fucking hearses a week.
Dude, listen, I've seen a death certificate, so I can tell you from 100% certainty with 100% fact that whether it was a car accident, whether it was a heart attack, whether it was a stabbing, if somebody had COVID in their system, it was labeled a COVID death.
Yep.
Because there's only 3 people that see the death certificate. I'm one of them. Okay.
Yep.
And I'm talking about hundreds at this point. I had to tell hundreds of families that they can't bring more than 5 people to a funeral.
That's right, because you were.
How hard that is?
Yeah.
So I'm not. I don't
That's
talk
scary. It makes me really mad because if it was such a fucking, it was the flu.
It shouldn't be scary. Just remember this. You just got to remember it next time that they try to fucking get us with all this fear shit. We're just fucking brush them off.
Yep.
Because if most of us did that, we would have been fine. But instead, we were all like, okay.
Seriously, down the shore, you would have had no idea anything was even going on. I realized that until I got back to my house, and I'm like. Everybody's all bundled up and not leaving the house. I said, dude, we're on the boardwalk on the beach. Nobody's worrying about it. Yeah, maybe we're masking up walking into a store, but the boardwalks. I was like,
the fact that I quarantined away from my daughter for 2 days is enough rage for me to go after fucking all.
Yep, exactly.
So I couldn't imagine not being able to go to one of my family's funerals. I'd fucking be up here.
Being in or they're in the hospital dying and you can't be with them. Oh my fucking god, that's so fucking hard.
And where'd it go? It's this deadly ass virus. Where'd it go?
Well,
it's gone.
Yeah,
I don't know anybody around me that fucking has it anymore. Nobody.
I haven't heard about a flu that bad either.
Finally, G. Only 2 hours and 43 minutes later, as soon as I'm about to get up. Definitely the biggest. Well, no. The biggest crime. Maybe the biggest crime in history, but in my opinion, fucking. I watched those towers. I watched those towers crumble. They were full of fucking explosives, dude.
Don't get me started.
I watched the BBC report Tower 7 falling before it fell. Explain that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's like me saying right now the Empire State Building fell down, and y'all look and it's still up, and then all of a sudden it falls down. Y'all gonna be like, Willie, what the fuck did you do to the Empire State Building?
Right. And then let's think about it. You guys play games and stuff, right? Go watch that fucking plane hit a tower and tell me it doesn't look like CGI now.
Yeah.
Because back then we're so traumatized. We're like, oh my God.
Go watch the BBC report they did on Tower 7 while literally at the same time there's a shot in New York of Tower 7 still standing. And then
I saw that
a minute or two after the broadcast, there goes Tower.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes. They said it was going to fall. How the fuck Did they say it was going to fall because they knew the explosives were in
September 11th, 2001 was the start of the New World Order. Has anybody noticed since that fucking time everything's been going like everything sucks today? Think about it. Music sucks, movies suck, fucking fast food sucks, the quality of everything sucks. Like it's just everything's shit today.
So let me just give you like really good news. Really good news. We're on the other side of it. We have to tear it apart to fix it. We have to rip it all up into shreds and restart over. We have to literally blow everything up. We have to take
that's the problem. But that'll never happen because
it is happening.
You remember no, it's not. We were revolted against like 2% tax. Okay. And at this point, we're not united enough to rise up against anybody because they have us so divided. Listen, they have us so divided, you have no clue. On stupid subjects. Whether it's Islam, whether it's this or that.
The only division is those two motherfuckers over there in that little country that has talked our stupid orange guy into fighting it. That's the only two people that fucking everybody else is against him.
Yeah, but here I'm thinking like, I'm thinking it's like, okay, America is like fucked up. But then like all these Europeans who came for the World Cup that then went home and then they're going live about like how they loved America and how it's so much better than where they're shows me that where they're at's fucked up too. So it's not just here. It's all around the fucking world.
And you know what? The World Cup showed us too that we can that we had so much fun together.
Yeah. And this whole thing that I have to fucking accept Islam and all that fuck that shit.
You don't have to.
My God didn't fucking marry kids.
But listen,
my God didn't fuck kids.
But one world order doesn't mean we all have to follow the same thing. Our neighbors next door don't follow the same things I do. Listen. All we gotta do is kill them.
Fucking Islamic extremists knocked down the tower supposedly, and yet they have a fucking mayor now with his last name Mamdani.
That's because we knocked the towers down, like wasn't that
the irony? The irony in that is fucking sick.
Yeah, I know. And the Mandela effect kind of.
And then he's like, fuck the Jews. And he's like, fuck the Jews. So mayors are allowed to be racist, but we can't say nothing. Fuck off.
I know.
Fuck off. The Quran is disgusting. The Quran promotes violence. If you don't believe me, I'll fucking quote 3 passages right now. And Muhammad was a fucking PDF file. What the fuck, dude? I'm supposed to be okay with that?
I know.
These people are fucking on their fucking carpets and shit doing this to fucking a pedophile. Fuck off, man.
Yeah, but the second they got peace, they decided that, wow, we do want peace. We don't want to fight anymore. And we're going to fight up against our fucking leaders. And that's what's happening. It's a spiritual war. I get it, where they're fighting.
Muslims hate me because when I bring up those fucking passages, they're like, oh, they didn't mean kill everybody. I'm like, it literally says kill all non-believers.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
They would rather have peace, I think, at this point.
But that's why I don't like to talk about politics. I'm just talking about this because
I know.
I see it alive and shit. But yeah, it's just I see this world for what it is, unfortunately.
But I want you to start seeing it. I want you to start seeing it from my point of view, though.
Well, again, your point of view, my point of view, we're all in the same fucking boat. There's no middle class and high class anymore.
No, I'm not talking about that.
There's all of us here.
Macro level, babe. Macro level. We're all hybrid aliens here trying to save the planet, babe.
I'm just saying, there used to be classes. At this point, it's us, and then there's them. There's nobody in between anymore.
Oh yeah, well, there's a lot more of us than there's of them.
I don't care if you make $150,000 a year. You only make $75,000. I don't care if you make $200,000 a year. You're only making $100,000. If you make $100,000, you're only making 50, baby.
And I
because you pay back 40, and you pay back about 6 to 9 in state. So what are we really taking home?
Out of the $200,000 I owe the IRS, $80,000 of it is fines and fucking penalties.
There you go. That's a lot to owe the IRS.
They fucking
be careful. That's the only.
That's what I have left.
Those are the only people I don't fuck with is the IRS because they don't give a fuck.
Listen, well, how about the property taxes they charge us that no other fucking country in the world pays? Let's call it a wash. How about Chris that don't pay the rest of it off because I have to pay property taxes on the house I already own? Fuck you. Make it a wash. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I can get away with it because of what I do, like as far as like PayPal, Venmo, all that shit. But like, with the cards and stuff. But like,
you gotta get hooked up with
if you fucking test the IRS, they will come and fucking.
Oh, they got me, man.
Unless you're rich. Yeah, unless you're rich, they don't give a fuck. They're like, we won't. You don't have to pay taxes.
We got greedy.
Trump told us that. Remember when he told fucking.
That's what happened in it.
Remember when Trump told Hillary during the debates? He's like, yeah, I don't pay taxes because because your people fucking don't either. And I was like, oh shit. He just exposed everything.
Like, you're not going to take half my commission check. I'm like, what the fuck? No, you're not.
I mean, think about it. It's 40. It's really it
40.
rounds up to like 40%, and then we have state tax,
40%.
which here it's 6%. Some states is 9%. So let's just call it 50%. We pay back 50% of what we earn. So it's basically like half slavery.
This is slavery.
then the cost of, like, I'm not a fucking boomer, so I wasn't able to buy my house with a pack of gum and fucking 10 grand. Okay, like this houses today are like $1 million for a fucking shit house.
Yes. If me and my husband said, Christ, if this house wasn't, if he didn't buy this when he was 18 from his parents, we would never be able to afford to live somewhere else.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel so bad because there's 55% of Gen X or Gen Z, not Gen X. Gen Z, the one before.
I know what you mean. Underneath us.
After me, 55% still live with their parents.
Oh yeah.
And it's not like they want to. It's just
right.
You can't compete against fucking, and investors and shit like that.
Even rent. Yeah, my girlfriend's rent is $3,000.
Bro, some of the apartments I've seen that people live in New York, it's like they live in a closet for $2 grand a month.
Or yes, more. Like
it's
like if it wasn't for rent,
something has to happen. A bubble needs to pop or something.
It will.
People can't live like this, man. And I'm not saying me. I'm talking about just I care about the population. Like, there's people that I know struggling that were not struggling before.
I know.
So anyway, love you guys. Thank you guys so much, Krista. Thank you for coming up. And yeah, if something happens, I'll probably be live, and but I just wanted to go live about MSM because they're all a bunch of fucking clowns. They have no idea what they're talking about. I'm glad I got to see Cy Ray's point of view because he just gave his whole fucking he showed his whole hand like this.
I know. Lana really thought that he was gonna clear everything up too. Like, it's crazy.
And this is my thing. All the people that were on his dick, stay on his dick. Stay on his dick. Stay on his dick.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
Cy Ray's going to tell us. You'll see. Just wait.
Everybody, no. Everybody was sucking Ann Taylor's tit, and they were sucking fucking Cy Ray's cock.
Yep.
And they both got your asses.
Right.
Come on, Twiz. Where are you, Twiz? Twizzy.
Yeah, where is Twiz?
Where are you, motherfucker?
He's hate watching us right now.
Give a fuck if you sat behind her or not. She's a fucking rat, boy.
Mamir, I will see you in the morning. Love you.
All right, later.
Love you. Bye.
See you guys. Have a good night. Everybody get some rest. Fucking continue this fight tomorrow. So Moscow covered up a case involving stickers on pole. Imagine what they would do. Exactly. Small ass town like that. Come on, man. See you, Harlot. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate you guys. Mike, later. Mods, thank you again so much. And God bless you all. Have a good night. Stay awake.